All right. Sorry for the mess, everyone. Yeah, wanted to go live from my phone. Did not work out that way, unfortunately. Apparently, if you start a live on the computer, you cannot go live on the phone later. So I had to scramble. That's why I'm a couple minutes late. So I apologize. Pull that up a little bit. Let me see. All right, quality seems to be pretty good. Not normal like that whole zooming in and out thing. That's kind of nice. Wonder if there was an update. Let me see if I can move this over just so it's not so. There we go. That way I didn't get all the junk on my desk. All right. Anyway, welcome to a charity live chat we're doing. Again, please excuse the mess. I was not anticipating. Originally, I wanted the camera to be more up, so I didn't prepare for that. So please apologize for that. But we're here for a good cause. So tonight, come in, hang out. Ask me questions about anything, golf balls, whatever. I'm gonna do this as long as I can, and basically any of the YouTube ad revenue, I'm gonna, like I said, donate to some local food pantries. You go out and buy some perishable food items and do all that. So it's for a good cause. So just come hang out. I don't like that being that bothers me. That's got to be centered. Okay. All right, Sean. Longest and straightest ball off the top of your head. Off the top of my head, it would be either the Wilson Boost or it would be the Speedsoft Ink. The Speedsoft Ink is not a distance king by any means. It's not for distance at all, but it is incredibly straight. Incredibly straight. It's hard to hit that golf ball out of bounds. It really is. When I find one in the weeds, I'm like, how did you even do this? Like, what point do you have to be in your golf career to end up with this here? But that's just the two off the top of my head. When are you expecting to start rolling out the top 100 list? That will be probably next Monday. I'd originally wanted to do it this week, but I've had some issues with my net. We had a windstorm a couple days ago, and my net essentially snapped, and so I haven't been able to test for a couple days. And then today we duct taped it, and that got me through a couple sessions. But I mean, I got to order a new net and get it in, so probably Monday. Hey, Blake, what's up, man? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. You recently said the Bridgestone Electron has become your go-to two-piece balls, which surprised me since that ball honestly wasn't on my radar since it's a junior ball. Any additional thoughts? So you bring up a really great point, Blake, and I do want to address this with everyone. One of the cool things about golf balls, and I've been at fault of this too, is that a lot of people will see a golf ball or see the type it is or the colors or whatever, and they will brand's a big one, right? And they will assume based on that, okay, I already know what the golf ball is going to be like, right? One of my worst performing videos this year was the Vice Junior Series combined with the Bridgestone Electron because they were all junior golf balls. Almost nobody watched that. It was one of my worst performing. Yet, two of those golf balls, I don't want to give it away, but let's just say they're in the top 40. They're in the top 40 when it comes to the top 100. The Bridgestone Electron was good enough to where it's my gamer. It's my two-piece gamer. I played with it last Monday with my buddy Bruce. It was his birthday. We went out, played. He had a couple guys I met. They were very surprised. They were very surprised because I shot an 80 with it. It was in some really heavy 30-mile-an-hour wind, but the ball checked up. The ball had distance. The ball exploded off the tee. And they're like, you're playing a junior ball? And I'm like, I'm playing a junior ball. It is what it is. Like the Bridgestone Electron is everything I want the E6 to be. I want the E6 to be this bouncy, fun to hit, forgiving, explosive, straight, spins a ton. I mean, it's a top tier golf ball. It's what the Gamer was to me last year. When I found the Gamer last year, the Top Flight Gamer, I was like, this is incredible for a two-piece. Well, this one upped it. So I'm just floored with it. It's one of my favorites of the year. And I doubled 18. That's right, Bruce. Yeah, it was, not good. I doubled a couple on there. I mean, I actually had 3 doubles on the day. If I just, there was a couple times I was an idiot. Other than that ball was phenomenal. I assume there will be some Black Friday specials coming up for balls. Do you know any for sure we should look out for? I haven't looked too much yet. I know Vice always has a really big sale. They also have some limited edition colors. Me and Bruce actually were just talking earlier about They came out with a cotton candy ball. It's like pink and blue. Oh, it's so sick. I don't even know if I'd play it, but like I don't know. It's sick. And so I know they're going to have some deals. Usually Strixon about this time will come out with their buy two, get one free either now or next week. So I'll keep an eye out for that. I will let you guys know the second it happens because I know that's kind of a big deal. But I'll keep my eye on other ones. I'm gonna let my shorts kind of do that because I've been trying to find a better way to incorporate shorts instead of just doing the AI method and letting it, take clips. I've gotten so much negative feedback from that, and I understand why. I get it. So I'm thinking about like using the shorts for that to like add in little tidbits of information that I don't fit into the reviews, and so I'll do that this year for sure. Let's see, 13 handicap with 95-mile-an-hour swing speed. Is the Vice Pro a good ball for me? Vice Pro, yeah, it would be. It's borderline. With a 13 handicap, I would more suggest like the Triad, the Wilson Triad, or maybe the Strixon Ulti Speed or something like that. The Triad is just incredible. Did some, and here's, it's funny. I'll tell a quick story because we got plenty of time. So the Triad is a weird ball because on the top 100 list, it's not top 10. I'll just give you that. It's not top 10. I don't want to give a ton away here, but it's not top 10. But here's the thing. Distance numbers wise, it doesn't look great. It's a golf ball that's all about precision and control and feel and, just consistency. And even though it's not going to end up as a, trophy winner on that list, it's a trophy winner in my heart because we took it out for on-course testing and I filmed it. Eventually it'll be up. And I've told this story, I think, once before, but we had gotten through 13 holes and I just got done using the PXG. This was a tighter course, keep it in the trees. I had been hitting out of bounds. The PXG was just all, hook, slice, and I couldn't keep it in play. And Alex, my buddy, hadn't played in months and he was topping everything. He had no confidence. It was the worst golf I'd ever seen him play. So we get to hole 16. It's the final 3 holes. And I said, okay, we have one ball left. It's the Wilson Triad. And he says, okay, we both par. I think we both par 16 or come close to it. And he's like, I like this ball. He goes, it's got a good feel. He goes, it putts really well. He goes, I actually felt the feeling for once on the putting. I said, yeah, the Triad's got good technology in there. And we get to 17 and he stripes a drive right down the middle. The best drive I've ever seen him hit. Has a chance to go at the par 5. So goes at it, puts it within 10 feet, makes his first eagle in his life. So keep in mind, this is a guy who's been playing golf for 6 years, has the worst day I've ever seen, switches to the Triad, gets his first eagle ever. And look, I get that there's a little luck involved, but he loves that ball. He absolutely, I birdied it. Then, and again, I had a terrible day too. I birdied that one. Then we went on. I drove the green on a par 4, a short par 4 on the next hole. I missed my eagle putt, but still, like with the Triad, it changed so quickly. You know what I mean? We were struggling. We were done. We were wanting to go home. We're already thinking about drinks after the round, all this stuff. And all of a sudden we got 2 eagle opportunities back to back. That Triad is something else. And I know it's not a distance king, but man, it's got some good qualities. Thanks for the comment. I picked up a dozen Electron after you said that, and I'm really impressed. Yeah, no, it's, I'm telling you, like it's, and that's why I love the channel because, not to toot my own horn, but there's just not many publications that are going to test that ball. It's when they see junior on the package, immediately they've already moved on. And for me, no, like I don't care. I don't care if your golf ball says this golf ball sucks on the outside of it. I'm going to test it. I want to know if that's true. I want to know if you're bluffing. I think you're lying. You know what I mean? Like I want to find out for sure. So I let the numbers talk. And, when it came to that junior review, I advise anyone who hasn't seen it, go check it out because I know a lot of you didn't watch it because you too saw junior and said, okay, yeah, not for me. The Vice Tour Junior, incredible. The most distance with my 7-iron this year, granted because of some low spin, but by far the farthest with my 7-iron. They're good balls. I mean, some of them are. Now, the Vice Pro Junior, if you watch the video, yeah, you'll see. But the other two, top tier, really top tier 2-piece balls. I tend to tear the cover of an ionomer ball with a good wedge or iron shot. Like they only last a few holes. Urethane balls don't do that for me. Could that be a swing speed issue? It could be, but the reality is ionomer and Surlyn are supposed to be tougher. So that doesn't really make sense. My question would be, what ionomer golf balls are you using? What wedge are you using? Do you sharpen the grooves? Because that is kind of strange because Surlyn and ionomer, I can usually put through the ringer and you hardly even notice any cuts or tears. Urethane, depending on how good the polyurethane is, sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's not, and sometimes it scuffs immediately. But I usually don't have too many issues. So I don't think it's a swing speed issue. I just think maybe there's a different underlying issue, but I'm not sure. That's very strange. But there are some ionomer and Surlyn golf balls that don't have good durability. The Srixon Ulti Speed, that's really its only fault, right? Is that it doesn't last very long. So how will you incorporate the balls you've treated this year that didn't make the top 100 list? You've tested, I'm assuming is what you mean. So you mean so I've tested over 100. So you mean, what am I going to do with the bottom ones that didn't make the list at all? I'm going to do a starter video and mention them all. I mean, it's not going to be much, but it's just going to be like, hey, here's what was so terrible. It couldn't even mention the top 100, which that's pretty bad. If you can't even make the top 100, that's a bad golf ball. And it's funny because looking at the majority of the golf balls, most of them are pretty good. I would say 90 and up are all usable, but yeah, there's not many that are just so bad. I'm like, don't play them. Don't play them. I generally use the boost during winter with it getting colder. Would Electron be better? Yeah, depending on, so the reason I'm using the Electron is because we had a cold day as well. The boost is kind of a mid compression. So if you get like a 60-degree day or a high 50s, it might work. Anything below that, I would go to like the Electron or the Top Flight Gamer, or some people to Super Soft or whatever, because you want something really soft to make up that difference. It also depends on your swing speed as well. I mean, if you're cranking at 115, 110, then yeah, the boost actually could feel soft to you. If even if it's cold, it could still feel decently soft. So it just depends on that. But let's see. Great, you are doing this for charity. I was able to grab the MaxFly Tri-Fly for $10 a dozen. Is that a good deal for all the cool designs? Yeah. So, well, the Tri-Fly is 3-piece as well. Legato is an awesome ball. I've heard that Tri-Fly is getting discontinued. And so if that's the case, that's why they're so cheap. I hope that's not the case, but maybe it is. I mean, having 6 golf balls in your lineup, I can see if it's not working out, if it's not selling well, any of that stuff, I could understand it, but I don't know that for certain. We'll see. It sucks to be in the dark about that stuff. Like the boost, we don't know if it's, we asked representatives and they're like, yes, and then no, and then yes, and then no. And it's like, we don't know if it's in the production or not. So it's frustrating. Golf Ball Addict, you have educated me so much on golf balls with your channel. Quick question. What do you think of the Noodle? So Noodle has a lot of supporters, owned by TaylorMade, made by TaylorMade. I don't particularly like it with my swing speed. I've never had good results, but I have had people tell me, no, I love it. I think it's a good winter ball for sure. I think during our winter testing, it'll test decently well. We'll see, but that's all I have to say about it at the moment. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. Just checked in. What did I miss? Not much, my friend. We're just going over some golf ball questions, couple good stories. You can go back and watch them. We're only a few minutes in, right? Yeah, 13:54. So yeah, not too bad. Let's see. I've tested all 3 Vice Pro golf balls. I'm a pretty good ball striker with my irons and wedges, and I love the Pro Plus and Pro Air, but for whatever reason, I found the Pro to be the most punishing. Yeah, that's actually a fair take. I have found the same thing in years past. I found that last year, and I found that a little bit this year too. The Pro, for some reason, I don't know why. You usually firmer golf balls, but for some reason, the Pro just doesn't compress as well if it's mishit. And that's why I quit playing it. I played the Pro for the first portion of this year and kept playing it and kept playing it. And, I just honestly started to feel kind of disappointed in it. And, I would go and I would test other golf balls. I would go test other golf balls and I'd be like, this one's better. And then I test another one and I'd be like, well, this one's a little better. And and finally, and nothing against the Pro, it's still a great ball, but I just finally got to a point where I'm like, I have better options. Like there's no point in me playing this anymore. I mean, new information, new data, new clubs, new me, So no, that's not a weird thing. That's actually, you know, and sometimes it works out that way. You know, sometimes it does. I've tested 5-piece golf balls that were decently forgiving. I was really surprised, you know. Let's see. Where were we? Ditto picked up some on miss hits. Vice Tour feels like a rock to me. Yeah. So, and again, because Vice, so yeah, that comment. So the Vice Tour itself is like 90s, high 90s compression. It's very firm, distance golf ball, 3-piece. But the Tour Junior is very soft, you know, squishy, forgiving, and it launches. I mean, it launches. And I'm sure he'll be a testament to that. I'm sure he'll vouch for that. For you, Bruce, Precept or Electron? I'd try the Electron. I love Precept. I know it's the standard on the channel. Maybe I'm just infatuated right now, but like here, you know what? Let me just compare the numbers. Like, let me find real quick. Let's see. Okay, I got that there. So if I go to, I hate having to find. I have so many now. This is so funny. All right, where is my Precept? Okay, there's my Precept. Now, where is my... Okay, Precept, Electron. There it is. Okay, perfect. Control F. Boy, that does help a lot. Okay, comparing the two. Okay, 50-yard pitch. Bridgestone Electron smokes it. Not even close. It's a bloodbath. Yeah, it's embarrassing. Pitching wedge distance, the same. Pitching wedge ball speed, basically the same. Pitching wedge spin, basically the same. Launch, the Precept launches a little higher, but still both of them are a high launch. When it comes to the 7-iron, you get an extra 1.5 yards out of the Electron. You get an extra 1.5 yards out of the Electron total. Ball speed's the same. Precept Laddie has higher 7-iron spin. It's average for the Electron. It's above average for the Precept. So maybe a little bit there in the Precept's favor. Driver, I did get a few yards more with the Precept. And then when it comes to driver spin, okay, Precept had a little bit lower, which I need the higher spin. So that's why I like it better. The Electron has a little bit higher spin, which is why I like it. Again, they're so close. I think it depends on the golfer, but I mean, at least try it. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. I mean, it's relatively cheap. So, and if you don't like them, I'll buy them off of you. So yeah, there's that. I think we call that risk-free trial, basically. If you don't like them, I'll buy them off of you. All right. Swing speed with my 3-wood is 102, 103. Don't use the driver because I struggle with it at times. Oh, wow. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Yeah, so then, yeah, you could probably use the boost. If it got too cold, though, you would need, like, you know, if it's 30s or 40s, I would go to, like, a Electron or a Precept or something. But, yeah, you're fine using the boost in that type of condition. I think that would be fine with your swing speed. Let's see. I was going to buy a sleeve of the chiseled noodles at the golf shop. I wasn't sure if they'd be good in the winter. Yeah, I think they would be. Also, I found a soft noodle in the pond that was waterlogged but performed. Oh, well, maybe it was a little heavier from the water. I don't know. Let's see. Hi, Nick. Here, your first Chilean fan. Any ball suggestions for a high handicap with 80 to 85 mile an hour swing speed, control ball, and a distance ball? By the way, congrats on your work channel. Thank you. So high handicap, 80 to 85. I don't know what's available over there, but again, like we're talking about the Electron, that'd be a great place to start. Precept Laddie, awesome. Obviously 2-piece. I want something at least medium compression. There's like the TaylorMade. There's a couple Speed Softs that are good. Like the Speed Soft Yellow might be really good. The TaylorMade Distance Plus I found to be really, really good as well. Where is my? Let me pull this up as well. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Precept Power Drive is another one. I think the Precept Power Drive gets overlooked because the Precept Laddie is so awesome, but the power drive's a little firmer. It might be a little too firm for your swing speed, but um, Wilson, no, that one would be a little too much. I would say start with those. Everything else is kind of mediocre. I just gave you all the ones that are like really high performing. If you need another one, let me know if those aren't available, because sometimes I don't know what's available overseas. But thank you for your support. I appreciate you. Thank you. I believe you sent me the golf balls, and thank you for that. I'm getting ready to test them soon, so I'm really excited about that. After seeing your review of the Amazon ball, I was surprised to see most other reviewers liking it. I know it's subjective, but this one has me confused. Doesn't matter to me. I'm Team Boost. So great point. And you know what? I want to bring that up. I really do, because this is a really great point. And I understand why some of you are confused. I get it. I would be too. And so I want to definitely clear that up. I'm going to clear my throat with the refreshing Diet Coke. I'm not sponsored, but I wish I was. Diet Coke would be a cool sponsor because it's not golf related, but so what happens is, and it's kind of frustrating for me. I get it. It's not a bad thing, but all the time I'll see somebody who, I'll be scrolling through my YouTube and it'll say, you know what? I'm going to call him out. I love him, but I'm going to call him out. Rick Shields, right? Rick Shields. Let's call Rick Shields out. Rick Shields does not review golf balls. He just doesn't. He is a vlogger. He's a representative for Live. He's right. He reviewed it because it's a quick cash grab. And you know what? I respect that. I get it. You have a ton of people asking you, Rick, review the Amazon ball, and he has millions of people doing it. And so he's just like, okay, we have billions of people asking us. We're going to make, tens of thousands of dollars off of the review. Let's just do it real quick. He doesn't review balls anymore. And even back when he was a reviewer, he really didn't review balls that much anymore. So when you're coming in, and I'm not going to speak for Rick Shields, but my idea of that is, okay, when he comes in looking at the Amazon ball, he's probably thinking, okay, this thing is dog water. Oh, wait, it kind of performed halfway decent. It shocked me. I don't look at reviews like that because I breathe golf balls. I live and breathe them, and they're everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like they're in my pockets when I sleep. Okay, it's not that bad, but I love them. So for me, average doesn't do it. I've got a whole page here full of just mediocre, average, and they all sink to the bottom. But I also have a ton of really great stuff at the top. Other reviewers, and it's not just Rick Shields, it's other guys too who do swing tips or club reviews or whatever. They'll just come out with a review like that when it's really popular. And yeah, they're just giving their subjective take, but most of them, what I see is the reason I got into this business. They hit it and they go, oh yeah, that felt kind of nice. I mean, it wasn't terrible. Yeah, that was okay. Yeah. But that doesn't really tell you anything. And it doesn't give data that we can compare side by side. I can tell you, hey, I tested 120 golf balls this year and it ranks 98th in ball speed. Well, now we know it sucks. They're just hitting it and they're like, hey, it feels good. Oh, hey, it actually reached the green. Oh, okay, it kind of stopped on the green. I just look at them from a different angle. And again, there's no ill will there, but that's why a lot of the time, and trust me, it drives me nuts too, you will see people when these golf balls come out, Kirkland, and a prime example was I mentioned this on a live not too long ago. I said, I don't like when people, the Amazon golf ball comes out and people everywhere are like, Amazon versus Kirkland, who's the winner? They're two totally separate, different golf balls. One's designed for fast swingers, guys who are pretty good. It's designed to rival the Pro V1. It's supposed to bend left and right, and boy, does it. But it also explodes off the tee, right? However, the Amazon ball is soft and squishy. It's for slow swing. So when you compare them, there's no comparison. A lot of guys don't know that because they don't review balls. They're just doing it because it's quick content. It's easy. They're getting a lot of, requests for it. I understand it. I don't blame them for it, but that's why you see those results. It's one of those things where that's why like having a niche like this is great. Having a niche like how Let's Play Through Gabe has is great. He has a niche where he does a lot of direct to consumer clubs. He got in on that multi, he got in on, and he's been doing that a long time. That's why he's very successful. And that's why a lot of you trust him. I know some of you feel over the years it's changed or whatever, that's fine, but he still has that niche and he's excellent at it. And that's what we are here. And some of these golf channels are like, I'll be looking through them and I'm like, you've reviewed 3 golf balls this year. It's November and you've reviewed 3. Of course you think the golf ball's decent. You went in with 0 expectation and you're just basically, it was a quick, hey, we need a fluff piece. People are requesting that. Yeah, throw it in there. Again, no ill will, not hating on them, but just that's the truth. That's just the honest truth of what's going on. And so that's why you see those. So I'm going to shoot you straight. If it's mediocre, I'm going to tell you it's mediocre. I've got 5 to 6 other golf balls that all cost $1 a piece that outperformed it. And I'm going to recommend those. Those other guys never tested those other balls, so they don't know. It's kind of the big thing I have with the robotic testing from My Golf Spy. I wish they did every golf ball. I wish they did more golf balls. They only do the top of the line. They only do the tour. And because they only do the tour balls, it's like, I love the results. I love what they do. I appreciate the work, but it's like, oh, okay. Well, did you test the Encore Vero X2? Because it was one of my best. Oh, no, we didn't test that one. Okay. Well, did you test, what do I got up here? Did you test Legato? No, we didn't test Legato. It's like, did you test Tour Edge Exotics? Did you test Trust, Bison? Did you, any of these? And just, it disappoints me sometimes. Sorry for the rant there. Now I'm behind on comments, but that was a great question. Thank you very, very, very much. That's why you see that. And that's why if any of you, and again, I'm not trying to say mine's the gospel. I'm just trying to say that that's happened a lot of the time where people are like, hey, I've watched 5 other reviews and they love it. You're the only one that doesn't like it. Well, I get that, but could I have made a mistake? Possibly. But more than likely, that channel you're watching doesn't review golf balls. They only review 10 a year, 20 a year. I review 100 to 150 a year. That's what having a niche is all about. So anyway, face is warm after that one. Y'all got me riled up already. We're not even 30 minutes in. Come on now. Okay. Great question. Next up. Hey, Nick, what would you recommend as a good winter ball for someone who's a junior golfer playing the Srixon Z-Star Diamond? The Electron, we keep talking about Electron, Precept Laddie. What was the other one? If you're junior, not the Boost. I don't recommend Super Soft because it's the production quality. I can't vouch for it. Q-Star Tour might be a good one. Maybe a Members Mark or what's the other one? Wilson Triad. Like that would be kind of soft enough. Any of those. But I mean, honestly, like if you're looking for a 2-piece, like I said, the Electron I'm using as my winter ball. It's a junior ball anyway. So I mean, like it kind of, anyway. Sorry, I don't want to keep repeating myself. Dunlop is incredible. I used to play Dunlop versus Noodle in my backyard. Would chop 40 yards of fire or chip. Okay, 40 yards at the fire pit. Dunlop was a beast and would always take down the Noodles. Max 5 was fierce as well. That's cool. Any drivers you're considering to switch for testing or in the bag? In the bag, no. I love my Cobra LTDX from 2 years ago, I think it was. Love that thing. Will not get rid of it anytime soon. I have the shaft on it. I love it. Is chef's kiss. Love that. For testing next year, it's part of the survey. And if any of you haven't done the survey yet, there's a video on my channel. It's the most recent one that isn't the live. There's a survey on there. Please take it. And it asks that question: what driver do you want to see next year? And there's a brand, and you can choose which one you want to see. So we'll find out. Team Boost. Yeah. Hope those balls are of use. No spoilers, and I can find your suggestions over here. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, let me know if there's anything different. You can always email me too if they're not available. Besides golf balls, what is your other golf addiction? What's my other golf addiction? Probably clothes. I sold clothes for a while. I worked for Men's Warehouse for a number of years and sold suits, and love clothing, love fashion, love the industry. Took creative sewing in high school. Actually got to where I could sew pretty decent. And then I think that translated over just over the years and got into the golf. I love the fashion part of it. When I worked at Cabot, I loved going in and seeing what the new models coming in were. I've got way too many polos, like way too many ridiculous polos. And the fact that now they're a tax write-off is really difficult because, you wear them for work. I wear them for the camera. I wear them to look professional. I wear them not, so now it's even more of an excuse. It's like, oh yeah, this one's maybe a little expensive, but at least, and it's like, it's become very difficult in that regard. But yeah, I love that. Not as much on the shoes anymore. I used to be, but then you get so many shoes, you get tired of it. I've got enough hats to where if everyone in this live chat came and played golf with me tomorrow and you all forgot your hats, I got you. Don't worry about it. Like, and you have a pick. You can have a pick of whatever you want. It's not going to be down to the wire. It's insane. So that's probably hats, clothing in general, polos, shorts, not as much. I don't really care. I usually just do a plain on the bottom. I like to have more fun up top. Some guys are the opposite. And so, Nick, are you as concerned with factory Q&A checks on balls? A little bit. For me, the bar isn't as high when it comes to quality checks on balls. Because here's the best way I can describe it, right? If this is the bar and let's say this is Titleist and it's like the perfect and they do all these, whatever, it could be any company. Bridgestone's also really, really good at it. I've heard TaylorMade's gotten better. So the top of the line companies are over here, and let's pretend your bottom barrel, like the golf balls, just, you get 12 of them and 6 of them are out of whack. For me, a lot of people will look at right here and they'll say, oh, it's pretty good. That's not good enough for me. I don't care if it's pretty good. I've just never, in my 5-6 years of doing this, I've never taken a ball to the course except for one time and hit a golf ball and said, that ain't right. That ain't right. It's only happened to me one time in 6 years. So I just don't think it's as big of a deal as people make it out to be. Now, there was the Callaway Super Soft testing this year, right? Where I went out, I tested one of the balls, hit the 50-yard pitch. It's launching 38, 40. And I said, wait a minute. And so I put a different one down, and then it launched 28, 27, put the other one down, 38, 40. And I said, okay, there's something wrong there. But again, that's so rare because nowadays we have the process so figured out to me that like, are 1 or 2 going to sneak by? Sure. But I play with Wilson Boost, which is $9.72 a dozen, and I rarely see an issue. I haven't yet. I haven't seen a single issue where I'm like, this one's not rolling as well, or doesn't sound right, or no. I mean, they all look good. I mean, are they all perfect? No. Do I think that I, as a handicap, am going to notice that? No. Why do I think that? Because I haven't. I haven't noticed it. I mean, if I notice it, I pay attention too. Trust me, I do. I don't think it's as big of a deal. I mean, I see some guys that are like, well, I have to spend 60 a dozen because, the quality checks are all in a row. And it's like, okay, well, this one's 40. No, there might be one ball that's not symmetrical. And it's like, I'm sorry, but if you're not playing professionally for money all the time, I just don't see that as being really a necessity. And that's why I don't talk about it on the channel. Okay, great question. Thank you again, Clevo. Thank you. Couple good. Coming in hot. I like it. Blake with another one. This is good. Did you say you'll be reviewing the next gen Tour spec ball? I've already tested it. Made by Bridgestone, from what I understand, for a golf outlet, retail store, whatever you want to call it. There's a retail outlet in Japan, and I forget the name of it. But apparently it's the only retail store like this in Japan. Like if you want Hanma clubs in Japan, apparently you just go to the Hanma store. If you want Bridgestone, you go to the Bridgestone store. But there's one golf retailer that kind of sells a lot of stuff. They have an in-house brand. And from what I understand, they hired Bridgestone to make these next-gen golf balls. If I'm wrong, please, sorry, but that's what I've gathered based on my review or my research. I fell in love pretty quickly. I don't know how else to say it. By the time I got done testing the ball, I had to really go through it with a fine-tooth comb and figure out where are the weaknesses. Like, what are the weaknesses? And I came up with a couple. I was like, forgiveness isn't as great as it could be. Here I'm going to split the hair. I'm going to split hairs. It's an incredible golf ball. And it's one that I've had sitting on my floor for months because someone sent it to me. And again, it's one of those things where someone sent it. I'm like, yeah, I want to review that. But then I've had zero requests for it. So it kind of just sits on the back burner. I tested at the end of the year and whoop, eyes popped. So when the review comes out very soon, I'll let you all know. I could even bump it up if some of you want. But I will tell you what, I just, yeah, that thing was nice. That thing was really, really nice. Srixon is slippery and sneaky good. If you play in the summertime with Temps 90 Plus, the trick is to drink boiling water and mix some green tea from the gardens of Japan. Srixon forged in fire. Oh, okay. That's a comment right there. Yeah, no, Srixon is good. Srixon actually is having a good couple of years. Their tour balls are doing great. Their irons are winning all kinds of awards. It's been a good couple of summers for Srixon. It really has. And I was super impressed with their tour balls. I still need to compare the Divide to the regular Z Star to see, but we'll figure out that. All right. Hearing anything about Snell, and do you know if the latest testing is from the old or new factory? The latest testing is from the new factory. Snell, I'm rooting for Snell. I love Dean Snell. I know he can get out of it. But that factory thing with the factory burning down or whatever it was, it's that really put him in a tough spot. It's one of those things where at this point, like, there are bright spots to the Snell golf balls. There really are. The 2.0 has become a favorite because it's a two-piece. It's urethane. It feels soft. It spins like a madman. Not much for distance, but still really good. That's another winter ball we didn't even mention earlier. That would be good. Excellent ball. And the three has highlights. It has low lights. It's good. But that's the problem with Snell is there's just a lot of this right now, right? There's a lot of this. And I just hope that, I think the smart thing to do from here on out would be to keep making improvements every year. Don't go to the once every 2 year thing. Every year, make a new model, make an improvement, and try to get back to that glory, because there was a time when Snell golf balls, people really thought they were as good as the Pro V1. I mean, they really did. They were like, no, this is an excellent substitute. It's Dean Snell's got his fingerprints all over it. It looks great. It plays great. And then all of a sudden the new factory has had trouble keeping up to those standards. I'm sure he's frustrated about it. I'm sure he is. I know he's got to be a perfectionist. He's got to be a guy who wants, the best. And so I'm rooting for him. I hope it's well, but the last couple tests I've done have just not been good. And I'm doing a lot of speculating. I don't know if any of this is true, but I'm rooting for him. I'm hoping they're improving. Let's see. Today's golfer did robot testing, and the E12 Speed did really good on the driver. Yeah, the E12 Speed. I think the E12 Speed is my favorite out of the three. Let me look here real quick. Let's see. Well, besides the Splash. My Splash is my favorite because it's just so unique and different. But let's see. What was it? Yes, the Speed was my favorite of the three, it looks like. And it looks like based on the smash factor, yeah, pretty good smash factor. I didn't quite have the success they did, but I had pretty good success. Not bad at all. I think my main problem with the E12 Speed is the price point. A two-piece golf ball for $35. I think there's one that's three-piece or something. I can't remember. I remember they didn't list it when I did the review 10 months ago, and I got so mad because I'm like, just tell me what your golf ball is. I think the Speed is a two-piece. And 35 for a two-piece, even if it tests really good, it's hard because if you get the same performance out of something that's $1 a golf ball, it's hard to recommend it. But yeah, at least it has, a couple nice features. It's got the dimple pattern. It's got, a really straight flight. It's just, I won't spend that much for a two-piece. I just won't. Seems like Electron is going to be high up on the top 100. It might be. We'll see. Let me look where it's at. Let me see. Where is it at on here? I do have, by the way, I do have what I've tested so far. I do have these numbers done. I am looking at the top 100 list. I know you must all be jealous, but I'm looking at it. I mean, I can see it. I can see number 1. I can see number 5. Ooh, number 8. Number 8's a good one. That's kind of a dark horse. That's from left field. I won't tease you anymore. But it's here. It's here, y'all. Thank you, Jeff Forhart, for the $2. Appreciate that. You're the man. All right. Have you noticed hardly any TaylorMade sponsored tour players play the TP5, but companies like Strixon, all their tour players play the Z-Star? A little. Yeah, a little. I don't really care for the XV. I never have. The Diamond, I think, is played by Brooks Koepka, I believe, if he still plays it, because they made that for him, basically. Yeah. Isn't there someone who plays the TP5X, though? Is it Fleetwood? I can't remember. Yeah, see, I guess I don't. I guess to answer your question, I don't pay that much attention to it. I don't, because it's hard to tell. I mean, I can tell on TV if it's a TP5, but I can't tell if it's an X or a regular model unless, they zoom in really close. And so I don't follow it outside of that, unfortunately. I have a ridiculous amount of hats too. My choice is always wild polos over common patterns. Just got pins and aces polo with alligators all over it. Oh, heck yeah. Love gators. Heck yeah. Are the Wilson Boost balls dead? They haven't been in stock in Walmart near me in forever. It could be. I've been having people say for about 6 months they can't find them. I still have them here in Florida at the Walmarts in Florida. I don't know if it's just seasonal. I don't know if they're only stocking certain stores. I don't know. I don't know what the case is. My guess would be that maybe Wilson, there's a possibility that up north, like, you get to Georgia and above, they're just not going to stock them for the winter. They only do during summer. I don't know that for certain, but you also have to remember, I'm sure they're selling more than they anticipated. I'm sure the sales numbers are great compared to what they thought it was going to be, because, you put that there, you're expecting a couple people to buy, who are cheapos or whatever. All of a sudden you've got half the country, a golf ball addict nation trying to buy it up. And they're like, this isn't what we expected. So we'll see. One of the other channels that cuts open golf balls cut open the super soft and discovered many lopsided core. Yeah, I believe that. Because I haven't had too many golf balls to where I'm like, this doesn't seem right, but the super soft always seems to be one of them. And it's a shame that it's the highest selling one. It by far is the best selling 2-piece golf ball in the world. And that's crazy to me. That is crazy to me. How I see old versus new club reviews, but nobody does old versus new balls to see how far the evolution has come. Well, that seems pretty easy. I've thought about doing that a couple times, so that seems pretty straightforward. I think I'll do that. Hi, Nick. Any comments on the Callaway Superfast Matte Green? Well, Superfast is awesome. It's already a low spin golf ball. So with the matte, you're going to get even less spin. So if you're not looking for a lot of spin or you're a high spin player, that would be perfect. But it explodes off the club. The Superfast is kind of one of my underground hits where a lot of people don't know about it. And it's really good, that and the Diablo. But yeah, just keep in mind with the matte version, you're going to get probably a lower launch and you're going to get less spin. As long as you're cool with that, then yeah, thumbs up. Would love to see you take on a full bag of Maltby Club's driver through putter. That would be a fun one. I mean, Bruce actually just got Maltbys and they look sexy. I mean, they do. They look really good. They sound great. They look great. I'm kind of iffy on direct-to-consumer clubs going forward, but Maltby is one I would definitely look at because Gabe loves them too, and I trust him. So hopefully you're making some money off all the ads that keep popping up. Yeah, sorry about the ads. I mean, I know the ads are kind of annoying, but it is the only way that we get paid on YouTube. And so I will say this, and I'm not going to advocate for it, but I'm not obviously sponsored by YouTube, but the best subscription service I have ever bought in my life is YouTube Premium for a couple reasons. One, it's like, I think $14 a month or $13 a month or something like that. Eliminates all ads. You can play videos on your phone and close the phone screen. So that way you can play the video. It doesn't shut the video off. And it includes the music subscription, YouTube Music. So if you're someone who uses Spotify and you're already paying, like 10 or $15 a month, like for me, it was easy. I was paying $12 a month for a music subscription. I went to the YouTube Premium Family Plan, which was $22 a month, me and 5 of my family members get the music streaming service, which is, 100 million songs or whatever. I mean, it's just as good as any of them out there. And then we now don't watch ads on any of our YouTube videos, none of them, because I didn't want my kids watching them, and that's a whole story. I won't get into it. But all my kids now, they don't have it. My mother-in-law, father-in-law, my mother, my wife, none of us have to watch ads. $22 a month, and that's for everyone to have a music subscription and everyone to not watch YouTube ads. Best purchase ever, period. You'll never convince me otherwise. I know I still see, when I advocate for it, I'll see people in the comments go, "Oh, y'all never pay for that." You're silly. You're silly. I'm just telling you right now. It is the best subscription. If you just want to do a single, I think it's like 13, but you get music streaming and never have to watch an ad on YouTube. And you know what's also really cool? When you're a YouTube Premium subscriber, when you watch a video, the creator gets the max payout every single time. So you are supporting the YouTube community, because like if you watch a video and you have ads, I might get some revenue, but if you skip past it, or if you have an ad blocker, or if you just pound the button, I don't get as much. YouTube creators don't get as much revenue. If you're a premium subscriber, from you watching, they get the max payout every single time. I'm telling you, it's the best. Yeah. Cancel your Disney, cancel your Netflix. This is all you need. I promise you, this is all you need. All right. In a zombie apocalypse, what is your go-to brand of clubs and balls for beating down zombies? Boy, that is an interesting question, Johnny. But since you're a longtime subscriber and I love you, I'll answer it anyway. Okay, balls. Balls is going to be 90s Top Flights, because I have a bunch of them. If I had to go from something this year, it'd probably be like a TP5X, because they're nice and firm and they're hard. Clubs wise, I'm going with the Srixons, because Srixons for some reason are really heavy. Like they're really heavy on the head part. I did a review last year of the 5s or whatever they are. I forget the letters, but the 5s really heavy on the bottom. Obviously I would want upgraded shafts, 120 gram, 130 gram. And then, I mean, those are forged. You're not going to put a dent in those, not from hitting a zombie in the face. I wouldn't think so. So that would be mine. One night, couldn't sleep and was spinning my wheels. I had a board with a line and X's connecting the pieces. Honestly, came down to Dunlop. It's umbrella covered and was the best all around. Cool. That's awesome. Made it to a live, but late. Had to get some kids' homework done. I'm so happy you're doing this full time now. Thank you. I appreciate you, Chris. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. I can order them online at Walmart. Oh, okay. I didn't know. Every time I looked, they were out of stock, but that's cool that they come back in and out. So that's nice. Played a sleeve of Chrome Tour this past weekend. Was very surprised how good it was. Yeah, Chrome Tour did pretty well this year, and so did Chrome Soft. Chrome Soft really surprised me, which I'm glad it did, because I've always had this soft spot for the Chrome Soft. Last year, for some reason, testing just didn't go as well. It was kind of average. This year really surprised me, and so I'm happy. I'm really, really happy with that. And, Callaway has done some good stuff with their designs, their pricing, buy 3, get 1 free, 2 for $95. They've done a couple things I really like, so I like to see that. Is there a newer Callaway equivalent for the discontinued Callaway 2022 Chrome Soft XLS? I'm pretty sure that would be the equivalent of the Triple Diamond. So yes, it's called the Callaway Chrome Tour Triple Diamond. Very popular ball. Got number 1 in My Golf Spy's distance rankings. YouTube Premium has ruined me. I don't know what YouTube Life with ads is. Yeah, see, I'm telling you, like once, and that's the thing, is once you go there, you can't go back. Once you've experienced, because my Golf Ball Addict page still has ads, and every once in a while, I won't realize I'm still on it, and I'll click on a video, and an ad will come up, and I'll be like, and it's on my video. I'll be watching my video, and an ad will come up, and I'll be like, what the heck? And I'm pounding, trying to get past it, and I'm like, once you've had it, you cannot go back. You really can't. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Love to see the love for that. That's awesome. I put that in, I play Gun Lobby Streets on my online dating app and said, swipe left if you aren't okay with this. Also, if you play Kirkland, you can swipe left, swipe right if you like Srixon. I like someone who knows what they're about. I like someone who knows what they're about. If you know what you're about and you're like, hey, listen, this is what I'm about. No BS up front. Just if you ain't liking it, that's that's great. Oh. All right, let me see. Yeah, YouTube took me improvement. I would like to see with clubs, brand, and model that is common for an average player would play. My pick is ZX15. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure what the average player would play. That's what's interesting is there's so many irons now. I feel like 6 years ago, anybody I asked, it was like 3 or 4 brands. Now all of a sudden, here we are, after the COVID boom, and it's like, oh, I play Tacoma, oh, I play Vice, oh, I play, Maltby, oh, I play Wabazuzu, and you're like, well, what's Wabazuzu? Oh, yeah, it's this Korean company that it's so random. Like I'll see so many, and when I worked at the golf course, it was the same way. It was rare to see 2 of the same clubs in the same day, and that's with 150 golfers, 200 golfers. It's crazy to me how many different brands there are now and how many different models and how many, it's just the market is kind of saturated. I don't know. It's crazy, but like I play Bridgestone irons now, and that's kind of from left field. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, Bridgestone irons, okay." Before that, I played McGregor's, and so they're like, "Oh, okay, McGregor's." It is different. My mom has Cleveland irons. A lot of people know Cleveland from their wedges, but they'll be like, "Oh, irons? You have the irons?" So many. Chrome Tour is the equivalent of the old Chrome Soft XLS. I trust you, Hunter, but are you sure? Because the LS was stood for low spinning, and the Triple Diamond was supposed to be their equivalent to the Left Dash, which is the low spinning model. Because you used to have the Callaway Chrome Soft X, and then you had the Chrome Soft XLS, which was the low spinning model, which from my understanding would be the equivalent of, but I guess now you have the Tour and the Tour X. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I'd have to look that up, but I from my understanding, I thought it was the Triple Diamond, but maybe that one is different. Maybe but still, you think it would be the Chrome Tour X. The Chrome Tour, interesting. But you know what? What was my spin with the Chrome Tour? Hold on a second. You might be right. Chrome Tour. There it is right there. Gosh, too many golf balls. Goodness gracious. Low spin with that, but high spin with the 7-iron, but low spin with the drive. Maybe. I'd have to see what the results with the X are, but I got pretty high spin with my mid-iron with the Tour. But of course, it's borderline not for my swing speed, so we'll see. I pay $10 for premium through my Verizon account. Oh, great deal. No ads are amazing, especially those unwanted ads for children videos. Yeah, and so that's what's interesting is that not in a political way, but like it's amazing when our kids, the reason I went ad free was because our kids, we were letting them watch YouTube, and some of the ads were kind of disturbing. And not just the fact that the ads were disturbing, the ads were 30 minutes long. Like there was this lady came out and she's like, all right, kids, I'm going to read a book to you today. And the book was something I didn't approve of. Again, not going to get into it, but just, it wasn't something I really approved of. And it's a 30-minute ad of her just reading a book. And I'm like, that's not an ad. That's an episode. We clicked on a 2-minute video of Mickey Mouse, riding a motorcycle. And somehow it's a 30-minute ad on, reading a book. And I was like, I don't, because sometimes you're not in the room. You don't know what's playing. You want to be there every second, but you can't. You don't. And so I looked at my wife and I said, we're done. I said, I'm just going to pay the money. It's money well spent. And again, it's whatever, but it's frustrating. You know what I mean? It's really frustrating. And it wasn't not even bad stuff. Sometimes there would just be an ad of, oh, hey, check out the new Elmo playset. And you're like, oh, okay, Elmo playset. And it's a 14-minute ad. And you're like, 14 minutes? You're like, what? 14 minutes for an ad? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, not for me. Not for me. No ads for Nick. All right. When I'm on the putting green and I feel that click so responsive, I know that's right. Yeah, I know. There are some golf balls when they come off my putter, I just And you'll see it. You'll see me. I mean, you can see it sometimes when I'm putting. I'll putt and I'll go ooh ooh, and I drop the club and I'm like, feels nice. You know when it's the one. You do. You know when it's that feel. I play a full set of Nike clubs, Nike NDS irons. Would I play? What would you pair it with? I I mean, I'd pair it with a Nike ball, to be honest with you, if you could still get a hold of one. I used to have the slingshots, and I would find old Nike balls and still play them because I loved them because they're basically Bridgestones. Um, and some of them were RZN, and some of them, they changed so many times. But I know I told you about Atomax. Yes, you did, Todd, multiple times. A YouTuber compared them to the Amazon Basics, and both were real close to another. $1 ball versus 250. Yeah, look, I try to keep it positive on this channel, and I try to sugarcoat things sometimes. Like if it's a direct-to-consumer company and the golf ball's just average, I will try to be as positive as I can and try to highlight the positivities because I understand as direct-to-consumer, it might be your first attempt. It might be your second attempt. You might be working out the kinks. I get all that. No big deal. So I'm here to offer constructive feedback, right? If you're charging $250 for your golf ball and it's not number one on this list in front of me, then forget you. I'm telling everyone not to buy it. I'm telling everyone it sucks. I'm telling everyone it's the worst ever because there's just no need for that. What would be the point, right? I mean, oh, well, it's made out of gold. Okay. If I could resell it for, scrap gold, $170 for the golf ball, okay, cool. If Tiger Woods had kept it in his pocket during a round of golf and then took it out, and gave it to me, like that'd be, or if he licked it or something, yeah, okay, 250, sure. Why on earth would I pay $250 just for a golf ball? I mean, if it did my taxes, cool. If it mowed my lawn, yeah. I mean, if it mowed my lawn and can do it multiple times, 250. But I still have to think about it. You know what I mean? And that's just crazy. If we're just talking about playing golf, 250 is just absurd. It's absurd. I have no interest in it. Thank you to everyone who is donating. I really appreciate it so much. I wasn't anticipating on, too many like cash donations like this. So God bless you. Thank you so much. I just planned on talking as long as I physically could, and any revenue, just helping, go buy those perishable food items. So thank you all so much. You are the best. Obviously you being here, all 51 of you, you're doing awesome right now. Thank you so much. Keep the questions coming. I love this. I love it. Love it. Love it. What time we got? Okay. So the game started. So what are we looking at here? Okay, Cowboys 10, Raiders 6. Click on that, at least bring it up. Oh, Gino has more passes. Okay. All right. Okay, I play PXG02 keyboard, now no longer available. Oh yeah, I remember the 0211. I actually have a 0211 driver head still that I occasionally will use, and it wasn't bad. It's not quite the level they're up to with Black Ops now, but very solid. I enjoy it. Kevin, thank you so much. Appreciate that donation. So yeah, Strixon soft feels for a cold morning. That's a lot. A lot of people tell me that the Strixon soft feel is great for cold weather golf. I can't wait to test it this winter. Do you really think Roger Cleveland is going to bring back the cult following to Cleveland wedges? Well, I have to admit, I'm going to show my ignorance for a second. I don't know. I'm guessing Roger Cleveland is the guy who made Cleveland. Yeah, legendary club designer, fan of. Okay. Yeah, I assumed, but I did not know Roger's name. I would actually make an argument that the cult following never left. When I started this channel 6 years ago and I bought the CBX2, when I went to multiple stores and was asking about wedges, almost everybody told me, yeah, Cleveland's got the wedges down. And throughout the years, they've always had at least one wedge that tested really well. My buddy Alex has played Cleveland wedges for a long time. My mom plays Cleveland clubs. I have Cleveland wedges. I bought the full face. I love them. I have tons of buddies who play them. I see them on the course all the time. I would make an argument that Cleveland's already a top 5 wedge just in sales numbers. I think they're there. I don't think they need to come back. I think, as far as a cult following, I think they're already there. I think they're pretty much mainstream. I think if you ask people randomly on the street, I think more than half of them would say, "Oh, top three wedges. Well, Cleveland's in there somewhere." You know, that they legit have a really good following, and there's a good reputation. Also, I put that if you're a dog groomer, that's bonus points, but still swipe left if you aren't cool with me playing Dunlop and fall. Yeah. I always told my wife, I said, you should learn how to cut hair. I said, just so that way we don't have to go pay. I said, because it's ridiculous. My son's haircut's like 20 bucks, my haircut's like 20 bucks, and it's like for 10 minutes of cutting hair. And I told her, I said, if you just like watch a couple YouTube videos and just kind of learn the basics, it doesn't have to be perfect. I can wear hats. I'm like, it would save us a fortune a month. Sometimes learning those skills like that, having like a girlfriend that's a dog groomer, you're like, oh, now I have to pay for dog grooming anymore. That could save you like $100 a month. I like where your head's at. This is a smart guy here. This is a smart guy. Any idea how many balls you went through this season? I'm lost or abused about 115 and 35 rounds, but found about 35 decent ones. How many balls I went through this season? So you mean how many did I lose on the course? Is that what you're asking me, Jeff? Because dude, I don't count that high. I mean, once I get to like 1,000, I don't think I would continue to count. I mean, I don't lose that many, but I play probably 60 times a year, 70 times a year. I probably lost like 100 golf balls this year. It's not as bad as I thought. Now that I think about it, I probably lost like 100. I usually lose about one per round. That's my average, is losing about one per round. So there are some days that I lose more, but I saw a video of a guy testing the new Chrome Tours last year, and a guy from Callaway said if you were a previous Chrome Soft X. Oh, okay. Well, I believe that then. Okay, that sounds like a good, credible source to me. I mean, I'm kind of just pulling it based on my numbers and kind of out of my butt, so I trust that then. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Thank you, Hunter. Yeah, they definitely have gotten ridiculous with the ads. The worst sometimes when I walk away to cook a burger, YouTube ad pops up and I don't have the remote, but the heart is cooking and ads reign supreme because burger ain't gonna burn. You know what though? I don't mind that because at least you're watching the ad. And when you watch the ad, we make more money as creators. So I appreciate that. Even a little clicksy too. Click on it, let it open up in the next page, and then just go, not for me, and click out of it. Helps us quite a bit. Or just get the YouTube premium. I'm telling you, it's worth the money. I promise you. Once you sign up, you won't go back. A lot of the time, they'll even run a special. Like you get 3 months for like $5 a month. Then it's really worth trying it. But that's how they get you. I would appreciate it. Yes. Thank you so much, Chris, for the $10. I appreciate that. Honesty makes you thank you so much. I appreciate the kind feedback, Chris. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I would appreciate it if both the Cowboys and Raiders could somehow lose tonight. I mean, we could root for a tie, but those don't happen very often. I suggest you circle back to the cause and how to donate. Okay, sure. The cause is my church has partnered with a couple of food pantries in the area. And what's really cool is that we were doing perishable food items. And from what I understand, the first food pantry got to the point where they were like, we can't take anymore. Like it's busting out of the door because it's so much. So then we went to the next one. And then from my understanding, they're getting pretty much full too. And they're like, we can't really take much more. Like we don't have any more shelves to stock. I want to do as much as possible, and I haven't been able to do this yet. And so I thought this was a really cool way to be able to give back a little bit. It's not a lot. It's just a little. I just figured, hey, I'll do a live stream. I'll answer questions, have people come on. You don't have to donate. You just have to comment or hang out for a minute, let it run in the background, go take a shower while you have it running. And any of the proceeds I make from this will go toward that and just help out families during Thanksgiving, because I'm a big proponent of people deserve a good meal. I've always been the guy, and this is going to sound really superficial, and I'm sorry, but it's the way it is. Like I told my wife a long time ago, I can cook it. You can cook it. My mom, I don't care. Anyone can cook it. But if I go work a hard day's work, I'm coming home and getting a hot meal. If I need to cook it, that's cool. If you're going to cook it, that's cool, whoever. But I don't want a sandwich. I deserve a good meal. You know what I mean? Because I work hard, and most of you deserve a good meal because you work hard. I'm not saying you have to eat really good 3 meals a day. I know that's hard. The economy's tough, but everyone deserves a good meal at least once in a while, once a day. And everyone has a different definition of what a good meal is. To me, just it means home cooked. Get a chicken breast out, throw a little flour on it, put it on the frying pan. That's a good meal to me. I think everyone deserves that. And so for me, this is important because there's a lot of people who might not have had a good meal in a long time. I want to try to make sure that they have a good meal at least one day, in the short period. I think that's fair. Okay. Thank you very much. Good question. Appreciate that. Let's see, where are we at? Okay. Been ad free for about 10 years. I legit forget about them. When someone else tries to show me a video, I would ask what kind of weird YouTube they have. Yeah, I know. For me, it's like a look of superiority. They're like, oh, sorry, ads. And I'm just like, ads. Oh, yeah. They play, ads. We used to get them on TV when I was a kid. Yeah, I remember during Nickelodeon, there'd be the toy commercials and the cereal commercial. Yeah, I remember though. You have those on YouTube? Oh, interesting. I'm kidding, by the way, just in case you didn't know. Come to Fort Myers. We need to play some golf together. Yeah, of course. There's some great courses in Fort Myers, from what I understand. Some great stuff down there. So yeah, I definitely will come through. Thank you, Jeff, for the $5. Appreciate you so much. Oh, that was another one. Thank you. Yeah, you did. Yeah, thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate that. During this time of year, just want to say thanks for the channel. Love all the content. Become an addict because of you now my wife might not like it, but what does she know about golf ball? Yeah, I get that a lot. Of my wife doesn't like you because, and I can understand that. I get it. I know my wife doesn't like the golf ball addiction either. So I completely understand. Where are we? Sorry, I keep losing my place. When I was younger, for me, first golf tournament, I got burgundy and black Cleveland hat with their iconic C. I got destroyed at that tournament, but looked okay while doing it. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, if I'm going to suck, I at least want to look good. That's for sure. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to get good enough to where I could show up in like a basic, whatever, just kind of look kind of silly and then just put everyone to shame. Wear some John Daly pants, like the American flag or whatever, and just show up and everyone's like, okay, buddy, come on now. And then just take them all to school. Yeah, he lost and trashed. Yeah, I would say probably, Jeff, 100 golf balls I've lost this year. I don't usually lose a ton. It also depends on the course. Some courses, I can go 3-4 weeks without losing one, and then I'll play a really tight course and lose 5. And so it kind of all evens out. But yeah, not too bad. Also, I play in a scramble. So sometimes I'll go for the hero shot, and I know I'm going to lose one. So I don't really count those as much, because I'm like, I just take a junk ball or whatever. Well, we broke the curve at Landsbrook. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely broke the curve. And Landsbrook, so Sean Taylor came down and played some golf with me a few weeks ago, and we played Landsbrook, and oh, God bless him, because that's one of the toughest courses in the area. I mean, there's no rough. It's just fairway and then trees. And the fairways are tight. So, I mean, you're hitting 5-iron off a lot of tees, hoping for the best. I think we got, 3 holes in, and we said, let's just scramble, because I mean, he had lost a few, I had lost a few, and I'm like, let's just scramble, and after that, we did pretty well. We actually turned it on and was doing really good. But it's so tough. Thank you so much, San Fanatic. I appreciate that. Food. Yep. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, Albert. Appreciate it, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Let's see. Haven't been to a barber in 20 plus years. I cut every 6 weeks. Yeah. It's funny. That's Strixon and the Dunlop again. So the cutting hair thing, right? I was trying to figure out how to like save money on cutting hair, what the best value was. And I got into this rabbit hole, and I got into this Reddit board. And I was surprised how many people shave their head because they just got so tired of paying the money for haircuts. I mean, they were like, I was spending so much money. They're like, I just rather be bald. And it's hilarious. There was like thousands of people on this Reddit board that were like, yep, nope, I used to spike my hair. I used to look good. My wife used to say I was really a handsome dude. But no, after paying $20 every 2 weeks, which I only get my hair cut once every 2 months to save money. I guess a lot of guys do it once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks. And they were spending, $40, $50 a month. And they're like, I'm done. They're like, with this economy, I'm just going to shave my head. I don't blame them, but I had no idea there was that many people who were doing that. You know what I mean? Like, that was just kind of crazy to me. But I think haircut places, this is $1 million idea. I can't believe I'm giving this away, but you guys are welcome. Haircut places should do what almost everybody else has done: subscription services. Imagine if your haircut place said, hey, $25 a month, $30 a month, but you can get your hair cut once a week. Like, you basically can get it trimmed up and all that stuff. So we maintain your hair. You can come in once a week. Think about the income they're going to get from $30 a month. You feel like you're getting a good deal because you can go in once a week and your hair is always going to look the same. It's always going to be the same. There's that consistency that us guys really like. You feel like you're kind of cheating because you're like, I got 4 haircuts this month. I only spent $30. But really, how long does that take for the hairdresser, right? You come in, you were just here a week ago, and she goes, okay, let me kind of, it takes 5-10 minutes. That's a win. I can't believe more places aren't doing that. Because again, the Reddit board, people are going bald. They'd rather go bald than pay these prices. And if you're someone who goes to like sports clips, I love the massage. I love the hot towel, but $50 after tip, $55 after tip, you can't do that every month. Or if you can't, I guess maybe some of you can. I can. I wish I could, but I'm just saying, you do that subscription service and you make people feel like they're getting a really good deal, but it's really not, because all they have to do is just and they're done. Okay, yeah, okay, you got a little bit here. Okay, it looks good as new, like back to normal. Telling you. Thank you so much for the donation, Doom's Retro Room. Doom's Retro Room, cool. Doom's Retro Room, that's awesome. Showing some support to the cause and one of my favorite YouTube. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't think I've ever, if you've commented before, I don't know if I've seen you or not, but I welcome. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Is the Doom, what does the Doom's Retro Room mean? What is that? Can you explain that to me, like what it is? I'd like to know the meaning behind it. Just a fun question. What's the most overrated trend in golf, period? Well, the most overrated trend is playing Pro V1, even though you have no idea what Pro V1 is or what it does, or if it launches low, or if it launches high, or if it's high spin or low spin. You just play it because you think it's the best. That's the most overrated trend. But I'm going to also give you my number 2, because that's kind of the easy one, right? Overrated trend would probably be... trend. Gosh, that's a good question. I've got like so many. Let me come back to that. I'm going to put that on my back burner because there's a lot of them. Give me just a moment. That's a great question. I love that question. My wife hates golf. She says I love golf more than her. Well, did you let her know that, to be fair, golf was probably here first? Like, and that's what I tell my wife. So I'm like, listen, of course you're my life, but we have to also be fair. I was 5. It was here first. I give my wife, she comes first. I get that. But she has to also understand I was a golfer for a long time before I met her. And I met her when I was 16 or 15. 16. Was I 15? I think I was 15 when I met my wife. So she already knew what she was getting into. So maybe not that bad because I wasn't as big of a golfer in my teens, but still, I was there. I was a sports guy. Let me look this up real quick. All right. My wife is a hairstylist and used to manage several great clips. Definitely is a blessing when I had hair. Yeah, no, that's Yeah, that's called a twofer where I'm from. Okay, we call that a twofer. That means you get a great woman, you're in love, all that's great, but you also get that bonus of what she does for a living, and you get to it saves you money and time, and that's called a twofer. Now, I'm telling you what, that's awesome when you can get that. Yeah, that's kind of like how I used to work at Best Buy, and I loved it because the discount I got on accessories and everything. I could get an HDMI cable for $1. Get oh my god, I got so many deals. I spent so much money. One year I spent $8,000 because I was still living at home with my mom. And I mean, I had all the coolest stuff, I can promise you, but you get it for so cheap. You do this e-learning and $1,000 TV turns into a $400 TV, and you're like, I don't want to lose money on this deal. But yeah, um okay. Worst trend in golf. I just thought of it. This is my least favorite. Comparing what you do to the pros. If you compare the golf ball, the clubs, the style, the hitting, what they do, whatever it is, if you start a sentence with, oh, well, Rory does it, or oh, Tiger does it, or oh, it means nothing to me. And I do see a lot of people do it. And that's the argument for the Pro V1, right? Everyone's heard in this chat somebody say, oh, I play Pro V1 because everyone plays it on tour. But there's also clubs. I've seen people say, oh, I play blades because this person told me, Tiger said that, his son Charlie, he's going to learn to play the right way with blade. Guys, they don't play the same game as us. Charlie, when he was 4 years old, could have spanked us all if we played in a scramble. If I took the 4 best people in this chat and played as a scramble, Charlie could have probably by himself beat us when it's a different game. I hate that trend. I hate when we compare ourselves to the pros. We're not the pros. Oh, I do this with my golf ball. Bryson balances his golf ball, so I do. Look, Bryson's a tinker. He does all kinds of weird stuff with his golf ball. You know what I mean? Like, it's just we're not playing the same game. I don't like it when people compare that. That's my answer to that. My daughter cuts my hair. I pay her an ice cream. Well, I mean, that sounds like a good deal. Any club fittings planned for yourself? I'm treating myself in the off season. No, I'm going to stick with my Bridgestones. I played my second round the other day with them. I absolutely love them. I would have loved to have been able to do that PXG fitting just so I could film it and I could show you guys like how in depth it is and how, the benefits of getting fitted, not getting, the bad sides of it, all that good stuff. I would have loved to have done that video. It just didn't work out. But maybe I can set up one with a different, club fitter this off season and just go kind of see what it's about and see if they'll let me film it. Maybe if I find like a local guy, he'll want the PR or something. You are onto something here. On top of this, me crown is thinning pretty good now due to my 9 to 5. Yeah, I hear that. I've been using a derma roll to break up the soil and grow some more grass up tops like Augusta. Are these like, do you write these down and put them in here? Or are you just that quick? Like, these are hilarious. Without your testing, I would have never tried the Wilson Triad and Callaway Chrome Soft, both balls that work excellent. Good. I'm glad that's awesome. So you see any difference from your testing on balls on the mats compared to the course? Not really that much. The mat adds, there's a little bit of difference in spin. There's a little bit of difference in launch. But what you have to remember is when you test all the golf balls on the same material, it still tells you how they compare, right? Because my goal isn't to tell you exactly what the launch angle is if you hit it off grass. My goal is to say, okay, this golf ball compared to 110 other golf balls, it launches low, it launches high. The turf will not affect that. If the golf ball launches, let's say 18 with a 7-iron on the grass, sure, it might go down to, let's say 17 off turf, right? But that 17, that 1 degree it loses, when I test the next golf ball, it's going to lose it on that too. Meaning that if I test another golf ball and it would have tested 17.2 on grass, it's going to test 16.2. Those are just random dumb numbers, but like I'm just trying to make the point. When you compare all of them and you use the same thing, it still will tell you how golf balls compare. There is a slight difference off grass because, of course, you're actually cutting into the grass opposed to just skimming it off the mat. Excuse me. But that's why. And it's the same thing with chipping on the putting green, right? I get so many people who are like, well, the artificial green isn't accurate. One, I disagree because I do cross compare them. I do take every golf ball to the course and test it in front of my own eyes to see. I've never seen a discrepancy, so I know they're the same. But the other thing is that if I test, I'm just throwing it out there, a Pro V1, right? And I test it chipping on the green and I say, oh man, it's just not, catching that much. It's not got that tug. It's not, I'd call it 45, 50%. And then I test the Srixon Z Star. And I mean, it's tugging, it's ripping, it's going right, it's going left. It's got all kinds of rotation on it. It's just stopping on a dime. Oh, that's 85%. That's 90%. The people who will come to the channel and go, oh, well, you can't really test the Pro V1 on, artificial turf because it's not accurate. It still tells me what I need to know. The Srixon spins more. It's softer. It grips into the wedges more. The Pro V1's kind of a mid. It has a little bit of tug, but it has nice, not firm release, but, a decent release. If I take it to the course, guess what? Yeah, the distances might be different. It might not stop as quick or it might stop quicker. But compared to the two golf balls, it's still the same. The Srixon Z Star still rotates more. It still grips more. It still stops sooner. That doesn't change. And so even though I know we're not always using the same exact materials, when you use the same, what's it called in an experiment? I'm so sorry, I'm dumb. Not your variables, but your main, right? That stays the same. Your constant. It stays the same. That's what I always try to do. And when you test 110 golf balls on that putting green or on that artificial turf, you can compare them accurately. It's not like hitting off turf. One of them's going to be higher than normal, then another one's going to be lower than normal. That doesn't, they are how they are. They're still going to launch. It's just different, if that makes sense. Sorry, probably terrible way of explaining that, but best way I could. I hope you understood. Yeah. Sometimes I start a sentence and I don't know where it's going to end up. A friend gave me a present as a box of old golf balls that her dad had in the 80s. Wilson Pro Staff, Optic Orange. Oh, yeah. Most old golf balls like that, golf ball technology has changed so much. I don't think they'd be any good. They're fun to play with, just like to get out there and play, not for competitive, but just for fun. But I don't think performance-wise they're going to be worth it. Just told my wife your subscription idea for haircuts. She said she suggested that to her GM years ago, fell on deaf ears. Yeah. Well, I mean, again, you're missing out on money. Yeah, you really are, because everybody's gone to subscription services, and I would much rather pay. Yeah, they'd get more money out of me because I'm only paying $20 every 2 months right now. So I'm paying $10 a month on average. If they said, hey, $25, $30 a month subscription per month, I would do it. So they're missing out on money from guys like me. So I know there's money to be made there. Maybe that's what I should do, is make that business and just say, yeah, it's all subscription based. Oh, all right. Where's the donation link? So help me out here. The donation link, I think if you go to the chat, there's a little $sign down here at the bottom. It says show your support for Golf Ball Addict, and it has like a $sign. I believe that's it. I've never done it before, but please help me out. Okay, Doom's Retro Room. Okay. I'm mainly a lurker. The name is because I'm into retro toys, video games, etc. I used to do some reviews on YouTube, but I'm lazy and busy with family life, so it's been backburned. Oh, okay, cool. So Doom, is that like, I'm assuming is Doom, are you a fan of the original Doom video game? Like, is that something you're into? Or I'm just asking. I'm just wondering if that's where the name came from. I saw a video of John Daly from years ago. He would only use his left arm and hit golf balls. I took this to heart and did it before me. Company scramble, played so well, right hand sabotages. And you know what's funny about that, Willing? I'm the opposite. I have way too much left hand. And over the last few weeks, the way I've completely turned my game around is by being right hand dominant. And it has completely changed my game. I'm hitting everything straight. I'm no longer hooking. Now, if you're someone who slices, yes, using your left arm to do that might help you. But if you're someone who hooks like me, you got to get the right arm more involved. And so it can work both ways. But now that I've started using my right hand and being more dominant, my drives have been better. I mean, my iron shots, my approach, long irons especially, huge difference. So you are correct, but it can work both ways. It depends on what you're struggling with. Most golfers struggle with the slice. So using your left arm probably would be pretty good. Yeah, a twofer. My wife worked in a bakery and she brought home leftover donuts and I got fat. Oh, that's okay. That's the dark side of the twofer, my friend. That's like it's good when it's happening and going down, but then years later, the result's not what you want. Yeah, that's like having a wife who's like having a southern wife who's really good at home cooking, and everything's deep fried. Tastes amazing going down, but pretty soon none of your clothes fit anymore, and you're like, okay, hold on, I'm now a double XL. Like, what's going on? Oh crap, I got to go buy new clothes. Uh, I've been there. I have been there. Oh, having a baker. I'm so glad my wife doesn't bake. Oh, I'd be in so much trouble. My mom baked growing up, and oh man, her chocolate chip cookies and my mom makes these medium rare chocolate chip cookies. You know what I mean by medium rare. They're a little crispy on the outside, just a little bit, and on the inside, just all soft and gooey, and you can pull them apart. That's the way. If you like your cookies well done, I love you and I respect you, but I don't know if we can hold a conversation. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, my wife's family is the opposite. My wife's mother-in-law or my mother-in-law, my wife's family, they're into the harder cookies. They're pounding it and they're like, look, hey, you can play hockey with it. That's great. Yeah. Oh, I broke a tooth. That's how you know it's good. And I'm like, no, mid rare. It needs to be gooey. I want it to, I used to go into Subway when I worked at Best Buy and I would tell them, I would say, I want your three most underdone chocolate chip cookies you have. And pretty soon it got to the point where he would save a few and he would go, these are rare. He goes, I basically just put them in the oven for about 30 seconds and it's just cookie dough. And I was like, you're my new favorite guy, my friend. You're going places. All right. Compare myself to Ralph Cramden. Hello, ball. The boardroom in San Antonio is 130 a month, unlimited cuts, facial, and scalp massages. Oh, the boardroom. San Antonio is a little far for me, but that's not a bad idea as far as if you're a part of the rich, club. If I had some money, I wouldn't mind doing that. Unlimited cuts, scalp massages. Oh, a scalp massage. Boy, I need that in my life. Wife sent me to Walmart for Christmas lights. Also came home with Wilson Boost and Cut Red. Hey, I'm glad they had them. A lot of people can't find the Boost. I just think it's unlimited. But yeah, and the Cut Red's good as long as they don't crack on you. It's kind of like playing the lottery. Sometimes they crack and sometimes they don't. If they don't, good stuff. I've checked 3 Walmarts in my area, no Boost. Dang. Hopefully they get restocked. Hoping Wilson isn't discontinuing them. I might. I know a lot of you are struggling. Next time I go to Walmart, I'll look at the stock and see what my Walmart has. If they have an abundance of them, I'll put them on my eBay page for a reasonable price, as long as I can make most of my money back. And maybe you guys can buy it. Maybe that's a way to get it. Maybe I could just do a shipping thing. Like, I don't know, some way we can figure it out maybe. But it feels like every time I go into Walmart, they have them. Maybe it's just a Florida thing. So I'll look into that next time. Who is your favorite golfer? Mine is Bubba Watson. Oh yeah, I've seen Bubba live. We followed him around at Valspar one year. So obviously the easy one is Tiger because when I was growing up, when it was 2001, I was 9. So like that was kind of why I got into it and all that stuff. But my second favorite one is definitely Scotty Scheffler because one, I'm kind of in awe with him because he makes the game look so easy and he is so calm. He's so calm under pressure. He genuinely, to him, it doesn't matter if he wins or not. Now, he figures since he's there, he might as well win, but he knows that he's a part of a greater mission. He knows that he has a wife and family that love him. He knows that, and he just genuinely is just a mellow guy. Now, I know that's not good for the entertainment business. I know a lot of people love Tiger and other golfers, DeChambeau and stuff because they're emotional and, the fist pumps and but for him, it's kind of amazing to watch a guy just kind of walk in like this and be goofy, be a goofy, really down to earth, nice human being. And he's a ball striker that just never misses the ball. He can hit any shot you want, to any degree you want. and it's mesmerizing, and it's amazing the run he's on. He is so talented and so good. Then you have the lore of getting arrested, which was crazy, and stuff. He's just, he was in Happy Gilmore too. Like, he's a guy that can have fun, but he's just very monotone and straight faced, and he's just one of the best golfers I've ever seen. Period. Okay. Big Dr. Doom, Marvel, and MF Doom rapper fan. Oh, that's actually okay. Yeah. MF Doom wasn't around long enough, in my opinion, but sometimes that's how it goes. I played 25-year-old Titleist DT90 balls recently. Unforgiving, no spin, brutal compared to new balls. The tech's way better. I agree. Yeah, that's the problem with most 90s golf balls is, and let's be honest, that's why the Pro V1 was looked at so great for so many years, is because when it changed everything, it changed everything. Everyone was so used to these rock golf balls that either you hit them really well and you hope they did good, or you mishit them and it stung your hands and you were done for the day because your hands were mush and you had to just move on. And so when something came along that was different, it was like, holy cow, like, we can actually mishit this a little bit and still be okay. Now, 30 years after that, 25 years after that, now we're at the point where, I mean, you can go pick up a junior golf ball and it's amazing for a golfer like me. And so it's amazing how much it's changed. Let's see. Yes, willing. Please do that. Thank you, Jay, so much for the donation. I appreciate that. They can swipe left if they like them well done. Same with the steak. It took me finally being introduced to Rare to change my world and explode my taste senses. I'm the same way. When I got to be, I did not have a dad growing up. My dad died when I was 9. And when I got to be about, what was it? 17, 18, my future father-in-law, my wife and I were dating at the time. We were still in high school. And he's like, hey, we can go out for a nice steak dinner. And I said, I'm not big on steak. I wasn't good on steak at all. And I had to have A1. If I had a steak, I had to have A1. Growing up, my mom was always a no pink person. She would do it like medium well, basically. And he's like, what do you mean you don't like steak? He's like, that's ridiculous. Like, have you had a filet mignon? Like, blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, I'm just not a big fan, blah, blah, blah. And we get to talking, and he finally goes, well, how do you have it prepared? And I was like, oh, no pink. And he goes, well, that's why you don't like it. He's like, medium rare, man. He's like, medium rare. So I agreed. He took me out. There's just nothing like a medium rare filet. It's the chef's dream. It's so perfect. It doesn't require a ton of seasoning, salt, pepper. If it's cooked perfect, it melts in your mouth. And from that moment on, and it's amazing how many people don't know that. I still fight with adults who are 35 years old and they're like, I won't do it if it's pink. And I'm like, you don't understand. That's it. Once it's not pink anymore, it no longer melts in your mouth. You have to chew it. And the more you have to chew it, the more unpleasant it is. I want it to melt in my mouth. And so a lot of people don't know that. But yeah, that's very true. Now, I won't go rare because I don't like it cold. I like it hot, like warm and pink in the middle, but medium rare is good for me. But I think we're on the same wavelength. Like, it has to be a little bloody. You know what I mean? Like, you like it when it moves, but I like it when it's like, still twitching. You know what I mean? And it can't move anymore, but good stuff. The boost is on Walmart's site. Okay, so good. You can buy the boost through Walmart's site. Apparently, I've had a couple people tell me that. So you can definitely order it online, which is great. My hot take, I can't wait for this. That Netflix show with the pros made me not like a few guys as much. Sometimes less is more with pro athletes. Well, yeah, sorry, my nose is itching so much. Trying not to rub it on screen, but so that's a great point. I don't think that's a hot take. I don't think that's a hot take at all. A lot of people will say, don't meet your heroes. And I can tell you from point blank, when I was at the golf course, when I was at Cabot, when I was at Southern Hills, we had celebrities come through. 1 out of every 2, I would say 50% of them are douchebags. They just are. They're cold. They don't want to deal with you. You're trying to just be nice. Hi, welcome to the course. They won't look at you. They won't. I'm going to tell a story about. It's a true story, so I don't care. So if he sees it, if you see this, then sorry. Gary Sheffield, very famous baseball player. Okay. Very famous baseball player, a guy I loved watching as a kid. He had the batting stance that was, kind of like this, and a powerful guy. But, being a kid, you don't know anything about his personality. This guy shows up in a Bentley at Cabot Citrus Farms. This was during preview play. He had been invited to come here basically and play, we weren't even open yet. He shows up in this Bentley, smoking a cigar. You can tell it's expensive. It's 9 a.m., gets out, beautiful car, all this stuff. He's cold. He won't look at you. He won't talk to you. No tipping at all. No tipping, not $1, nothing. Doesn't want service provided to him. Went out on the course. I then talked to a couple of the guys who I worked under and said, yeah, I was kind of surprised. And they said, we've met him. I had multiple people say, oh yeah, we've met him before too. It's always rough with him. It's always rough. Then he comes back and he was getting in his car and I wasn't here at the time. I was actually out on the course doing some patrolling and stuff. I find this speaker and it looks like a really nice speaker. And so I'm thinking, this has got to be from Mr. Sheffield's group. So I race as fast as I can. I come into the parking lot and, I pull up behind him and I said, hey, Mr. Sheffield, I said, I'm sorry to bother you, but I think this might be your speaker. He doesn't turn around. He doesn't look at me. He just goes, nope, not mine. And just kind of shoos me away. Doesn't even turn around to look at me. And I said, well, Mr. Sheffield, I said, I think it's from your group. Could you at least look at it and just see if maybe it was one of your golfing buddies? And he goes, oh, and he turns around and he goes, oh, that's mine. And he's like, thanks. And this thanks was like the hardest. You could tell he had to try. I mean, you could just tell it wasn't natural. And look, God bless you, Mr. Sheffield, but you're allowed to act however you want. You are very successful. You are allowed to be whatever man you want to be. That lifestyle is not for me. I just couldn't do it. I've got too much morale. I have to treat people. Really, if you just want to dumb it down, I try to treat people with the utmost respect. I try to be Christ-like, and I'm not always perfect at it, but I try. And you guys can tell from what I do on here in my channel, I always try to treat others and think of that. But my point in this is that celebrities like that, there are a lot of them that are that way too, golfers. I've met plenty of those golfers that you saw on Netflix. I've met them in person, and some of them are the nicest guys you'll ever meet. I got to meet Ken Griffey Jr., nicest guy ever. So down to earth. Will take a picture with anyone. Loves, seeing kids and hanging out with them as far, hey, can I get a picture, Ken Griffey? Great guy. And he understands. He goes, I'm a celebrity. It's part of it. And then you get guys on the opposite side. And it's not just Mr. Sheffield. I've met several that just, they won't look you in the eye. They think you're trash. And I'm not saying Mr. Sheffield thinks I'm trash. I'm just saying there are celebrities that just think you're an NPC. You are there for no other reason just to exist. And that's a shame. It's a real shame. So watching shows like that, that's where that phrase come from. Be careful when you meet your heroes, because sometimes it can be really hurtful. And that's how it was for me, because I was really excited to meet Mr. Sheffield. I was so excited. I had all the stats memorized. I was ready. And he wouldn't even let me have a hello. Kind of disappointing. I like Tiger now. I used to can't stand the guy. I can't stand Rory. I just can't stand the total diva he puts on in front of the media. Yeah, I can understand that. That's why a lot of people don't. He's probably a good dude in person, but I just can't stand the pro. Yep. No, and there's a lot of that. I know there's a lot of frustration from everyone. Rory's very upset with the PGA, and so I try to give him some grace. But I get it. I really do. I mean, I know he's upset. So I try to give him, some understanding, but it's hard to like. I've seen what you're talking about, and I've seen how he reacts, and sometimes it gets a little frustrating. But yeah, there's some pros, for sure, especially the pros, and what I'm talking about on what's it called, Next Swing or whatever. You watch them, and they're in their $1 million mansion, $1 billion mansion with boats out back being interviewed, and they're like, we just really didn't appreciate the way we were being treated, and Jamie, can you get the caviar, please? The cameraman would like some caviar. yeah, we just didn't feel we were treated the best, and so we just didn't show up. And some people thought, oh, I shouldn't have took the $30 million, but I did anyway, because why not? And you're like, it's hard to like that person. You know what I mean? Because you're sitting here eating ramen noodles, watching on your TV, like, what are you complaining about? You know what I mean? It's like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, you know how it is. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. So it's easy to dislike people who are like that. And that's why I like Scotty. Scotty is just, hey, I'm just glad to be here. I'm thankful. I'm thankful to have my family. I'm thankful to have golf. And that's why I like him so much. He's just so chill. And, occasionally he'll get frustrated about something, but it's so rare and it's so mild. It's just not the same. Tom Watson was a tank and so solid. Lee Trevino was up there too. Do you remember when Ricky almost beat Tiger Woods in the US Open and went to whole extra 18s? Yeah, I do remember that. Boy, it feels like forever ago now. Picturing a steak melting in my mouth, slice of fresh onion and some horseradish and some grape juice. Oh yeah, and baste it too. Tell you what, medium steaks here or in between medium and medium, to each their own. So Golf Addict, I'm going to pretend you just said medium because I'll let you fly with the medium. I'm going to pretend the other part didn't happen, that the medium, well, that's fine. So medium, you're cool, brother. You're cool with me. So that's fine. Once it gets past that, you got to chew it too much. You're not supposed to chew it. You know what I mean? No, it's got to melt. Come on now. I'm a Braves fan. That don't shock me at all. Yeah, and again, I didn't try to call him out for any specific reason, but the reason I have no problem calling out Mr. Sheffield is because I have now had several conversations with a dozen people who have had interactions with him, and the stories are like eye-opening. Like the stories are like, really? Like, why? And they're just like, I don't know. And so it's one of those things where it's just, I loved watching him play. I really did. It's just, you can't treat people that way. You know what I mean? Like we matter. I matter. I know you're successful. I know you drive a Bentley. I get all that, but we're still both human beings, at least just say hi. Is it really that hard for you just to say, hey, how's it going, young man? Have a great day. Thanks so much for the service. Act. I don't care. In your head, you could be thinking, man, this guy's a piece of trash and I hate him and he's ugly and he's got the stupidest socks on. You can think whatever you want, but can you not just act for 2 seconds and just be polite and just say, hey, man, good to see you, and move on? Is it that? I don't know. I didn't think it was that difficult, but I guess for some people it really is. Some people just struggle just to say hi. Don't be that guy, please. Treat each other with respect. One time cleaned a whole fleet of golf carts in the twilight, got written up the next morning for water spots, was instructed to be smarter with the house and my angle of delivery. I mean, when I was at Cabot, the first head pro we had was pretty strict about that. But we dried the towels. when I worked at Southern Hills, when I first got there were certain guys who wouldn't spray the golf cart with water. And of course I was coming from Cabot. So I was like, we had all these, really strict, stuff. And so I was going to incorporate some of that. And I was like, why aren't we spraying water and washing the golf carts? Oh, well, it might leave water spots. Well, aren't water spots better than not washing it at all? Because then the next day it would have pollen all over it and just look disgusting. And so it finally got to a point where I had to pull our head pro aside. And I'm like, listen, would you rather have water spots or pollen? And he's like, oh, water spots, of course. He goes, at least water spots make it look like you are. And I was like, thank you. Because yes, I don't get that. Like, I would rather there be water spots than it just look like crap and have dirt. I mean, water spots at least mean you try. And I mean, it's hard to get water spots out. You have to detail dry it in order to not have water spots. I mean, at Cabot at one point, we were using Rain-X on the darn things. Like, it's hard to do. You know what I mean? That's silly. Met Anthony Hopkins. He was awesome. So nice. Oh, that's great. I wouldn't think Anthony because, he's so intimidating in the movies, but that's awesome that he was accommodating. I met Michael, I want to say it's Pena. Yeah, Michael Pena, the American actor who he played in Chips. He was in Shooter, Fury, Ant-Man, End of Watch. Cesar Chavez. I think he played the main guy. I think he played something like that. Martian. He's been in. Anyway, very well-known actor. One of the nicest people you ever meet. I mean, just laughing, has a good time with you. He genuinely thinks he's one of the guys, and that's what I love. I love seeing that. Just, genuine. He had his golf bag out sitting in the middle of the sidewalk, and I took it and just put it by the thing. And when he came out, he looked and like saw it, and I just said, "Oh, I moved it over there just because I didn't want anyone to bump into it." And he was like, "Oh, thank you so much." And he came over and like high-fived and he's just such a nice guy. That's the best when they're down to earth. It makes them so easy to root for. And that's what's funny, right? All of a sudden, I'm going home that day going, what movies was he in again? Oh, I need to watch this again, because you just want to support the guy. Like, he's so nice. You just want to, watch his movies again. And I love him in End of Watch. End of Watch is not a movie to watch with your family. It is extremely F-bomb and gory and all this stuff, but it's a great movie in my opinion. And it's one that you probably just should watch alone, guys. It's probably not for your family, for your woman or whatever. It's about cops, but it's very good. All right. There we go. There was a football player who would ask me to shine his shoes and clean his clubs and place clubs in his vehicle. He said he would catch me after lunch. He would come walk right past me, intentional stiff. Yeah, that's a shame. I've seen guys like that too, that specifically, just stiff you for no reason. And I don't get that either. I don't know how you make millions of dollars and you can't throw somebody a couple bucks. You know what I mean? I just don't get it. And for them, they always say the same thing. They say, oh, well, it's just, why should I have to tip? And it's like, when you're making millions of dollars, maybe just give a couple bucks. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I get it. You earn your money. But for me, like when you're rich like that, I just made $100. I just made $200. So what is $2 to you? You hand that $2 back, and in the time it took you to extend your arm like this, you already made it back. So why does it matter? You know what I mean? I don't get it. Make it make sense. All right. I met a bunch of the guys at the Ryder Cup. Even Rory was not good. Yeah, no, that's good to see. Yeah, and a lot of those guys are really good natured for the most part. There's a couple that are kind of, and you can tell, but most of them are pretty nice. I sheathed me Wolverine claws and took a walk and drank me tea and let it go. Rinsed me head with the hose to cool me down too. Oh gosh, so funny. I used to deliver to a pacer that was drafted out of high school. He was a lot. Guy who delivered to Peyton Manning's always got taken care of. Peyton's a good dude. I've heard that. I've heard Peyton's really good. Yeah. I'm trying to think if I have any experience with basketball players. I don't think I do. No, I don't. I mean, I know Shaquille obviously is like the golden standard, right? He's nice. He buys kids stuff. He's kind of the he'll play, with whatever. And spoiled, rich, entitled athletes who never had to work a day in their lives. What do you expect? Yeah, I guess that's a good way to, but most of those guys, even the athletes, a lot of those guys come from like really hard beginnings, like a lot of athletes will grow up poor and, ball's their only way out of it, and so you'd think they would remember kind of where they came from, but I guess you're right. Not all of them do. Michael Pena is hilarious. Yep. He is a good dude. Yep. End of Watch is one of those movies. As a young man, you got to watch alone with all the curtains closed and shed one manly tear at the end. Yeah, no, that's true. That's exactly what it is. Also met Garth Brooks in Calgary at the Palzer Hotel. It was very nice, pleasantly funny. I ran into Jacob Wheeler. He's the #1 professional bass angler in the world at Mexican restaurant in Chattanooga a few years ago. Super nice. Took a picture. Good. I love that. And that's the other thing too. I promise you this. If you see me out in public, I know most people don't care, but if anyone who sees me in public and recognizes me, come over and say hi. I will never turn anybody away. And I have had a couple people notice me when I've been working at Cabot or working at Southern Hills or been in a golf tournament. I've had people recognize me. You will always get a picture. You will always get a chat. I have time for you. I do. The channel isn't successful without you all. I have time for you, period. In a way, you all are kind of my bosses, right? I heard someone the other day say, like, the audience is the boss because they tell you what they want. And that's why I'm doing the survey and all kinds of good stuff, because your opinion matters. Of course I have time for you. Like, that's just, I mean, I don't even care if I'm out to dinner or whatever. I only have 2 minutes, but I'll give you that 2 minutes. I mean, period. I'm just being real. I'll never not give anyone who wants a picture, especially kids. Kids want autographs or whatever. That's not going to be me. Kids aren't going to want my autograph. But I mean, if they did, of course, of course, like as many as you want. I talked to some of the staff in a course in Arizona where Dustin Johnson had played the day before. They all said he was cold, rude, and a total a-hole. And I've heard that about him too. I've heard stories about that as well, unfortunately. And you can just tell kind of by his demeanor. He's body language. People will tell you who they are. You just have to listen. When you watch an interview and he's like this, and they're like, "Hey, tell us about your new putter," and he goes, "I don't know what it is." Well, it's your putter. I mean, it's a TaylorMade. That's all I know. What are you doing? You make millions of dollars. Doing press conferences is one of the few things you have to do. Oh, you have a supermodel hot wife too? Yeah, I know it's so hard for you. Just go to the conference and smile for 5 minutes. It's not hard. Watch. It could be fake. No one has to know. You just got to fake it for 5 minutes. And then guess what? In that 5 minutes, you just made another $1 million. Now you get another yacht. Yay. I don't get it. I don't get it. Get over yourself. You have something that people would kill for. And yes, I understand sometimes you're going to be pissed off. That's fine. But if you're constantly pissed off and you're making millions of dollars and you play golf for a living and you have a supermodel wife and you have beautiful kids and what are you complaining about, dude? People are hungry. Why do you think we're doing this live chat? I mean, true, right? It makes me so mad. Sorry. I'm done. I don't want to get any more upset. India's representing here. Awesome. Laughing my ass off when Nick's talking about how many balls he loses around. Lost 4 last weekend with 0 penalty strokes. Come play Midwest Fall. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. That's the worst. We had this course near me one time that they were behind on their mowing. And so anything in the rough was like this deep. And I mean, dude, you just barely hit it out in the rough and you couldn't find your ball. And it's like that's the worst. I know we pay green fees, but I'll pay rough cutting fees too if I need to. Just please cut the rough. I don't want to lose 18 balls and have 0 penalty strokes. You know what I mean? That's insane. And no one should have to take a penalty stroke for that either. I like the fact that you said 0 penalty strokes. I have not heard about the new Christmas Carol movie, but I'm surprised they do so many of those. It seems like they're doing one every year, or at least every couple of years, but I have not seen that. I'll have to look it up. Where was I? Oh, I know you were very busy, but I'm still waiting on a top 10 non-urethane 3-piece golf ball list. Oh, no, I'll write that down. Hold on. I was actually just coming up with some content ideas today, so hold on one second. Don't go anywhere. A book out here. You want 3-piece non-urethane. Done. Okay. Be on the lookout in the next couple days. Ricky Gervais' speech at the Golden Globes was everything so funny and real. Yeah. No, it's true. It's very, very true. Sometimes celebrities forget that they don't live the same lives that normal people do. They genuinely think they do. And that gets involved with politics. You know what I mean? What we have to remember is, and I tell people this all the time, they're like, "Oh, did you hear about that celebrity's political view?" And I'm like, that means nothing to me because, and whoever I'm talking to, I'm like, your political view means nothing to me. Why would theirs? Oh, well, they're a celebrity. I'll say, okay, so because they're really good at acting, now all of a sudden they're a politics expert? I'm confused. What? Oh, well, that sports star. Okay, he swings a bat really well, but does that make him an expert in politics? It's weird to me how these newspapers just flock to this guy has this opinion. I don't care. I don't care because you're just, I mean, don't be wrong. Your opinion matters. You're another human being. I mean, obviously everyone can vote however they want. I don't care. But the idea that their opinion holds more weight because they're a celebrity, it's no, it doesn't. They have just as much political experience as I do. And I'm just a guy who tests golf balls in his backyard, Actually, I ran for school president one year when I was in, middle school or whatever. I actually have more than they do because they didn't even do that. I just little stuff like that, right? But I don't get it. I don't really get that at all. During colder weather, is it better to use a higher or lower compression for sure. Colder weather, you want lower compression because the lower compression will firm up. So if you normally play like an 80 compression golf ball and it gets colder, a 60 compression will turn into an 80 compression because of the cold weather. It'll firm up. So that's where you want to go with that. So like a lot of like soft 2-piece golf balls, your Srixon Soft Feel, Bridgestone Electron, um, Q-Star Tour, stuff like that is really good during the winter months from what I understand. Yeah, Albert, and that's the main issue I have is I think that most of us, if we could play golf for a living and make that kind of money, we would be just through the moon, And obviously, it's easy to sit on the outside of it and look in, but I think that, um, I think I could be that way because I'll be real with you, I'm making a little less than minimum wage doing this, right? But I'm still so grateful because I work for myself. You know what I mean? I mean, I work for myself. I get to be at home. I get to be with my kids more. I get to be with my family more. I get to test golf balls for a living. And I'm sitting here just like, I'm so grateful for it. It's so awesome. And so when I think about these guys who are miserable being professional golfers, it's like, where did you have to go wrong in your life to where never having to worry about money, never having to worry about a meal, never having to worry about really anything other than how am I going to play at the next tournament? How did you get so miserable? I don't know. I pray for people like that. I really do. Because life is about happiness. It's not about, well, it's not all about happiness, but it's about coming to grips and being thankful and achieving your own happiness, I think. And so, you gotta enjoy life. Enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, you're already here. You might as well enjoy it. Find ways to. Getting all kinds of comments. This is great. I'm surprised we still have so many. We're almost 2 hours in. So thank you everybody who's been doing this. I've been talking up a storm. I'm like sweating, but thank you for sticking with us. Would the Vice Pro Air be a good golf ball to use in cold weather? Yes, if you are a very fast swinger, because it's still in the 70s with compression. So I think you would need to be around like 105 mile an hour with a driver or higher. But if you are, it would work as a cold weather ball. Very good. Did you watch the Internet Invitational? No, I did not. I'll tell you why in a second. Thoughts on the 2 cheating scandals? I didn't see. I heard briefly about it. What was it? It was like Page, right? Like Page Invitational. Hold on. Oh, crap. Oh, no. I screwed up. Oh, no. Cheating. Okay. Let me see. Even YouTube's God's biggest sin is Huh. Okay, so I don't want to just read it here and just waste your time, but okay, so yeah, so Paige did something okay. Yeah, so I mean it doesn't surprise me because okay, how do I approach this? I didn't watch the Internet Invitational because I didn't expect to get invited. Okay, I didn't. But when I first heard about it, I thought there was a chance that there was a couple guys I knew that might have. Because when they first kind of advertised it, it was supposed to be the internet. Like when they first came out with it, they were like, hey, it's the Internet Invitational. We're taking a bunch of YouTube golfers and golf reviewers and all this stuff, and it's going to be all about YouTube. Well, then all of a sudden it's like, hey, here's a celebrity, and here's Danny DeVito. Okay, I know Danny DeVito, but you get my point. Like all of a sudden there were celebrities everywhere, and you're like, oh, well, no, this is just like people who have a lot of like followers, and a lot of them don't actually know a lot about golf. Some of them do, but some of them are just golfers for fun, and they just happen to. With Paige, does it surprise me she didn't know that, or does it surprise me that happened? No, because I don't know Paige personally. I've never seen any of her stuff. I don't know how in depth of a golfer she is. She doesn't seem like the type of person that's concerned about the rules. Maybe I'm wrong. And if I am, I apologize. I'm so sorry. To me, when you're a golf influencer, like, I don't really think about the rules that much. I mean, I know some of you do, and I mean, obviously, I don't want to cheat, but I'm just saying, like, when the MG Senior tested really well, and it's an illegal golf ball because it has too much velocity coming off the club, I'm like, who cares? It's too fast. Oh, I'm sorry, it's too good. Like, who cares? That's kind of how I am, and I think a lot of golf influencers are that way too. So I don't think that she knows the rule. Now, the guy who called her out, Finch, he's trying to get on tour. He knows the rules left and right, and he's probably more of a stickler for him because he plays in a different style. And so, no, it doesn't surprise me. I was disappointed that the internet, and also it was in my home state. You know, I live 30 minutes from Branson my whole life. I would have loved to have been a part of that. I know I only have 22,000 subscribers and I'm nobody. I get that. But when they first advertised it, I was hoping it would be like 160 golfers over 4 days, but like a lot of different influencers. You know, I would have loved to have seen Gabe there. I would have loved to have seen, but instead they were just like, oh, here's a bunch of celebrities. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, so it's not really the internet invitational. It's more like a celebrity pro-am, basically. Like, that's what it felt like. So I know it was really popular. I'm not hating on it. I'm not trying to be salty. I really want to play in one of those events one day. I'll be honest. All right. Hey, after that Halloween video, you could be up for Academy Award. Yeah. I'm glad some people enjoyed it. I know not everyone liked the Halloween video I did with the putter review, and it was goofy, and it was, I do those types of videos a couple times a year because they're for me. If you don't like them, I completely understand. I had a couple people tell me, hey, stop with the theatrics, stop with this. We don't want all this goofiness. I get that. I completely understand. No hard feelings. I appreciate your feedback. Those videos are really for me because I'm a guy that loves that goofy style of comedy. Jim Carrey growing up was my comedic idol. I loved, Ace Ventura. I love the slapstick comedy. I love skit comedy, Key and Peele, Chappelle's Show. I love all that stuff. I like it being kind of corny like that. And so a couple times a year, I do videos like that to be funny and silly. It's not going to be for everybody, but that's fine. It's for me. I had so much fun editing that video. I had so much fun making it. I like the fact that it's low production value. I do that on purpose because I liked, growing up, I loved low budget films. I used to be, I didn't even tell you this. I used to be a filmmaker. I went through film school. It's part of my college degree. It's not really film school, but it's, electronic media. And so they taught us how to edit films and how to shoot films and how to do a lot of YouTube stuff. And so I've been in film competitions. I love the low budget aspect of it. And so I like doing that kind of thing. And so I know some of you might not like it because you're like, this is ridiculously silly and goofy, and that's fine. It's just who I am. I love that style of comedy that, isn't too serious. I love like watching Napoleon Dynamite and seeing the plate of nachos. Like every scene, it changes. Like the nachos are full and then the cheese is melted. Then it's back to not being melted. And it's, because it's just, I get it. I've been there. You know what I mean? Leaving the tripod in shots accidentally. I've actually made a couple of feature-length movies in my life. They're terrible. I'll never show them to you because I'm too embarrassed. But like I did a couple of them and they're hour-and-a-half long features. And so I have history in that. I am going to make some stuff starting next year that has higher production quality because I know some of you want that. But the Halloween video was really more for me. It really was. I mean, it was for next round. It was for some of you, but it was for me. I had fun. I just did a Balnemic fitting and it says LA Golf best match followed by Maxfly Tour and PXJ Tour for me. Any preference between the three? If you're talking about golf ball, LA Golf, I can't stand. I hate that ball. So I mean, just my opinion. So I would stay away from it. PXG Tour, I would try first. And then I would try both of them. I would try the Maxfly Tour and the PXG. Both of them are great balls. I would like to be your 100,000 subscribers. So once you get to 95,000, I'm going to unsubscribe and then watch closely and then resubscribe. I heard there'll be a cash reward. Well, okay, I don't know about that, but you will be, honestly, just even all jokes aside, even the idea of getting to 100,000 just seems kind of crazy. I hope I do one day. That would just be so incredible, but we'll see. We're on the path. I mean, we're gaining. So, I mean, we're a fifth of the way there. Oh my goodness. I agree. Transitioning to Ah, yes. Okay, sorry. Yes, sorry. Work from home. I didn't know what WFH, but yeah, they trained as a nurse. Best thing ever worked for me. Yeah. Yes, and being at home, yes, it can be definitely a. If you can find a way to work from home, it's really cool to be at home more often. You know, it just especially with me, just making sure the house is taken care of, making sure the kids are taken care of, and also being able to mix this in. It's so great. Oh no! So this one, so next gen. This is actually the Pro V1 left dot. I just got done testing the Pro V1 left dot today. It was sent to me by a viewer. I knew there was going to be a lot of people who wanted to see it. Maybe not here, but you know, it's one of those golf balls that usually does pretty well because people like Pro V. So I did go ahead and test it today. It's got to get in for the top 100. You know how it goes. As you can see, I'm really excited about it. Next gen is actually. Hold on, let me see if I can move here. No, you can't see it. So behind the kitty ears, this is a cat bed right here where my thumb is. Right behind that is the next gen box. And it's cool because whoever sent them to me, thank you, by the way, they sent me like a bunch of different colors: yellow, pearl white, regular white, glossy. So it's actually kind of cool. I think I'm going to just keep them and play them on the course. So I like them. Um, Hey, got here late, sent some suggestions in the survey. Thank you. Appreciate anyone who's done the survey. I appreciate that. If you have not done the survey yet, please go to that video and do it. I would appreciate it so much. It only takes a couple minutes. Um, I think Paige was a college golfer. See, well, and if that's true, if she was a college golfer, which I think you're right, I think she was, she should know the rules. But to be fair, I think what she's in her 30s now, so that was 15 years ago. I don't know. I don't know. All for content and edited to hell. Such a non-story. It was mostly entertaining, I guess. R.I.P. to be such a shame at 31-year-old. Yeah. Where did you live in Missouri? My cousin lives around an hour from Branson. I lived in the Springfield area. I lived in Ozark, which was a suburb for many years. And then I lived in Springfield, Missouri for, you know, when my wife and I finally moved in together. And that was about 30 minutes from Branson. So yeah, we were always in that area. And in Springfield is where Payne Stewart was from. So we had, you know, you have Payne's Valley, which is the Tiger course at, you know, in Branson where they played. But then in Springfield, we had Payne Stewart public course where he played when he was younger. It was an okay course, but I mean, it's still, I played there a lot when I was younger, and you know, I mean, it's still cool. Speaking of the MG, do you think it's the longest golf ball for it doesn't hit the ball very long? Thank you. It is definitely long. I mean, it's when it comes to the driver performance, even with a average 97-mile-an-hour swinging speed, it's top two that I've tested this year so far. So I think many of you, and then the guy who sent them to me, he's a slow swinger. He loves them, and he says it's the longest golf ball for him. So I think you're right. First annual golf ball invitational. Let's go. Yeah, maybe. Hey, that sounds good. Have you ever been mistaken as a famous actor and then the person says the name of the actor and you don't even know who it was? Yes, actually, many times. I actually get all the time. People are like, "Hey, did I go to school with you?" And I'm like, "Nope." "Oh, hey, do I know you from?" I'm like, "Nope." People recognize me a lot from nothing and don't know where. Yeah, so I don't know. LA Golf will also cost an arm and a leg. Yes, it will. It's ridiculously priced. Also, look out once this rain stop. I'll send you another model of next gen just got. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How are your new clubs working out? Love them. The new Bridgestones are awesome. I love that. I also got a new gap wedge. I'm loving that as well. I feel like I got my confidence back. I feel like I'm hitting some good shots again. Got my baby draw back. Oh, I love it. I sent you the next gens. I'll send you another little care package. Oh, thank you so much. You are the best, Mystical. Oh, God bless you. Payne Stewart is in my top 3 all-time favorite players. Yeah, I love him too. Just the outfits, standing out. You know, it's a shame what happened. It's heartbreaking what happened, but he's big in my hometown, Springfield, Missouri, because he that's where he's from, and so we love and respect him there for sure. Not much comes out of Springfield other than, you know, Bass Pro Shops and O'Reilly's. O'Reilly's. And yeah, that's about it. And Payne Stewart. Oh, Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt. That is another one. That's a big one. That's one of our big crowning things is we're like, oh yeah, Brad Pitt. We used to party with him. I didn't, but like my father-in-law and stuff did. Any chance we see a velocity review this year? They're my backup gamer. Yes. I don't know if we're going to see the review. I'm glad you brought that up. There are going to be certain golf balls. This is not the way I wanted to do it, but it's just the way, unfortunately, it happened. There are going to be golf balls this year that will have to enter the top 100 after the top 100 is released. Because I went through my list today for golf balls that I still need to test. There's like 50 or 60 of them. I'm not going to get that done in a week. I don't want to push the top 100 off for a month just to get that done. That's not fair to you all. I'm going to go ahead and do the top 100 because I have 120 golf balls tested right now, and that's plenty to get it done. And then for the month after that, through December and maybe early January, I'll be doing additional testing, and I'll be putting those golf balls in the top 100 where they would go. So the list will kind of be fluid for a month, but it won't change too much. I don't think there's going to be a shakeup at number 1 or anything like that. It's so hard to get in the top 10. I don't want to do it that way, but it's also not fair just to be like, well, I'm not going to test it this year. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, it's just not getting a testing, because if I did test it, I'm not going to put it in the top 100. So I think that's the best way to do it. I wish I had had more time. I wish I had tested more this year, but getting 120 done is pretty cool, you know? And I think by the end of this week, I'll have 130, 140 done. That's going to be a really good sample size, but I'll just have to add a few more in the next month. And I know that sucks, but it is what it is. So when are you and Gabe playing together? Whenever he wants. Whenever he wants. Ball's in his court. I would love to play with Gabe sometime. I think making content together would be awesome. I think it'd be great for both sides. But he's a busy guy, and we both love each other. We both support each other, but we just, right now I haven't heard from him. So just keep posting on his videos. Just keep saying, hey, Nick wants to do a collaboration with you. Come on. And eventually he's got to get tired of it and just want to do it. So, O'Reilly's does me oil change for me, $9.95 stick Ranger. What's funny? I don't think you knew this, Willing, but I drive a 99 Ford Ranger automatic, but old green machine with the fender flares on the back. It's a beautiful truck, but yeah, it's a 1999. It's got 75,000 miles on it. I love that thing. I'll never give that thing up. I'll also send you the latest prices. I paid for them. If you can find the guy that sells them on Whatnot, you can get them for roughly the same price as Tour Response. Oh, yes, please. I didn't know that. That's right. You told me you got them on Whatnot because I couldn't figure out where you buy them from. And then, yeah, you did tell me that. Thank you. If you do a velocity review, I suggest comparing the white ball with the green ball. Both felt different to me. Yeah, they probably did. They probably did because I've noticed that this year with a lot of two-piece golf ball, the color ones are different. I play the orange and it is different than the white. Yep. So I'll have to do a complete comparison there, but I like that. Good night. Have a good night. 5:30 a.m. comes quick. Yes, it does. And that's also, it's been 2 hours and 12 minutes. My max for this chat was going to be 2 hours. We went slightly over that. Thank you so much to everybody who has donated. Thank you for just being here, watching the ads. I know they're annoying. I'm sorry, but this is going for a good cause. I will be posting a follow-up video showing what we made, where it went to, all the good stuff, just trying to do something this holiday season. I wanted to do something last year, didn't get a chance to, got to do something good this year. I want to use the platform for something good, and this is such an easy way to do it, right? You guys show up, we just laugh, have a good time, have some drinks, crack a joke, and we just use the ad revenue to help people. I think it's a win for everybody. So thank you so much. I appreciate everybody. Yes, absolutely. Thank you all so much. Thank you. I appreciate you all being here. You all made me laugh. I had a wonderful time. Got over 200K and then had a scare head on collision. I let it go. Oh, yep. Good night, everybody. Yes. Thank you so much. Good night. I'm glad the quality was a little better. I noticed if I get closer to the camera and I hold like my hand out here, it's not so bad or the quality's been terrible. This one was good. If you watch to the end. Now, if you get bored and you're at home and you want to still contribute to this, leave it on in the background. Just let this video play for the 2 hours. Put it on slow-mo. Like if you go to the options and do slow-mo, let it play and just run in the background on something. That'll help us get more revenue as well. And then, like I said, any of the proceeds are going to go to that. So thank you guys. As always, keep watching so you can keep learning and you can keep saving. Good night.